welcome to the Jeff Canada Show. But if you're going to get your feelings hurt, you might need to turn this shit off.
There we go, dog. We are rolling. Zakk said only pussies wear headphones on podcasts.
I did say that.
Oh, wait. I got my glasses too.
I actually brought another pair of glasses just in case for later, like if we take some photos or whatever to promote it. I wanted to make sure you had a pair. I had them on me, but
yeah, I feel like I have to wear glasses if you're.
I love that you wear the glasses.
I had to. I was like, man, I went and got them out of my truck and everything. I'm like, I'm gonna wear the glasses because Zakk
Shades
always
on,
has
man.
glasses on, and I don't want him to see when I'm rolling my eyes at him. Is that why you wear them?
No, honestly, I'll tell you why I wear them. So when I was born cross-eyed, and I had like 9 or 10 eye surgeries probably by the time I was like 5, 6, 7, something like that. And my mom still will remind me to this day, because my mom is my biggest fan of all my social media. She watches everything I do, that sometimes when I'm drinking, that my eye will start moving. And, more often than not, Jeff.
You don't want to freak people out.
I don't want to freak people out. It can be distracting, and it just, I'm a little bit more comfortable when I'm on camera, when I have my shades on. But I wear my shades everywhere. I'm also sensitive to light.
Yeah.
And so I wear them all the time.
Yeah, I get that. Sometimes I'll play these shows late at night on these stages, and we'll go on, and I'm like, we're rocking out, and I'm like, fuck, I wish I had my sunglasses.
Yeah,
because those lights they're brutal up there, man.
They are. I was at a show at the Woodlands a couple of weeks. It was the Jelly Roll show, or whenever that was, and the lights. I mean, the light show was awesome, right? Like you're paying for that, but it was so bright.
Yeah,
I had to put them on.
Yeah,
and it's really just my right eye. Like my right eye sometimes hurts, and when I look at computer screens too long, or my phone too long, or read, a book, stare at something too long. So, yeah.
Well, now we all know why you wear glasses.
Now you know.
It's not because
you heard it here on the Jeff Canada Show first.
Yeah, it's not because you're super douche.
Yeah, maybe
I can't wear them. I'm the opposite way. Like if it's dark, I cannot wear glasses. I'm like, man, I can't see shit. So that and those Costas, that's like my 3rd or 4th pair. But the ones before that I got with the plastic lenses. But the plastic lenses,
you got expensive shades,
dude. They scratch so easy. The plastic lenses do. So I got the glass lenses this time. And it's like,
are they like polarized too?
Yeah. I mean, the problem with me is I have such a fat head.
Yep.
And it's super hard to find glasses that look decent on my.
What size is your hat?
Like 7 3/4.
Yeah, that's about right where I'm at.
Yeah, but it's like this way. I don't know. I just feel like I have a fat head, so it's hard to. I have fat everything, dude. Fat everything.
Those are like super. You put those on a credit card or something?
No, man. I pay cash for those bitches.
I get the sunglasses that are like $8 or less from the gas station.
Yeah, I actually got those. My girlfriend got me a. She put money towards it for my birthday, I think, is why I got those. I can't remember.
See, I told you they were expensive.
Yeah, they're expensive. And I won't buy another pair. But like I said, it's very hard. Like when I go to like Walmart or a gas station or any of that stuff, I can never find a pair that actually fits my head.
I've had a couple of like expensive pairs. Like I have these, they're similar looking to this. They're like some Dolce & Gabbanas that I got, or however you say that. And I paid them like, I paid like close to like $500 for them. And I sat on them somehow. So now they're like crooked. They don't look right, you know?
Yeah.
But all my cheap sunglasses, they last forever. They roll around in the floorboard of my truck, and people sit on them. I sit on them. My kid sits on them, and they're like a Timex, man, but for shades.
Yeah, I had a pair of Ray-Bans, man, that I had for like 7 or 8 years, and those things were indestructible. And then after that, they don't make that version anymore, and so I got a pair of, I don't remember, Oakleys or something like that.
Yeah, I've definitely had some Oakleys. I lived in Florida for a while, so I had some polarized Oakleys. I've never had Ray-Bans, but I've wanted the Ray-Bans that have the camera in them.
Oh, yeah?
Have you seen those?
No.
You haven't seen those?
Mm-mm.
Man, those are like 3-4 years old now. Couple years old, maybe. I don't know.
Dude, I am so...
They're like the classic Ray-Ban, right? But they're for social media. They literally have like a camera, right? And you walk around and it's your POV from your glasses, but
And it records it?
yeah,
It has like SD card or something in it?
something. I don't know how it works, but I don't have them. They're expensive.
Do you mean buy you a pair as a gift? As a gift for coming on the Jeff Canada show?
Yeah. That'd be sick.
Just walk around, just filming. I noticed that that there's a lot more like POV footage out there that I'm watching on social media. So that's probably what that is. Because if not, you got to wear like a GoPro or something. You look like a dipshit. You know what I mean? With like
That's gonna be me all next year.
Really?
I'm gonna have a GoPro on my hat. I'm gonna have like one on my chest.
On like the back of your dick.
Yeah. Yeah. Why don't I carry like a big stick around? Man, you got to, dude. I mean, it's annoying, social media and all the cameras and all that stuff, but it's also kind of cool. I guess, we don't think of it probably, but there are people, right, that are on the internet that never go out. And they never have a social life.
Right.
And they never go to a show. And they never eat at cool restaurants. And they never meet people, right? They never go to a honky tonk. So, I feel like there's an audience for it, right?
Yeah.
And it's cool to tell your story through different people's eyes, especially when it's like, someone that you're into, like you. I watch all, I mean, I've seen your toilet so many times, dude. You know what I mean? But it's fun. I think it's kind of annoying though. It's kind of annoying.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm really trying to step up the content game as far as video goes, because that's kind of where everything is right now. And
Yeah.
so I'm really what's cool about these podcasts is you can so the guy that's producing them for me, I just give him the files. He produces them. He gives me both the landscape version and it gives me a portrait version, and so I can actually go through and edit out or move stuff around and just get a bunch of little clips. So that's one of the reasons why I started this, is just for content. So there's a lot of things that I'm going to say that are like good nuggets, or funny, or stupid, or controversial, or what the fuck ever.
What's the most controversial thing you said on here yet?
I have no idea. I haven't listened to all the episodes yet. The first two that I've released have been pretty tame.
Okay.
I mean, we said retard a lot on the when I had Dalton on, but
It's funny that you call him that.
well, yeah,
I know that's his name, but
yeah, Dalton, Earl, whatever.
I only know him as Mr. Shreds.
Mr. Shreds. He's
cool.
a character, bro. He's
love that
definitely
guy.
a character. So when I first heard about you, you were working on the Buzz.
Well, that was a while ago.
So how long ago was that?
So I worked for the Buzz. I did nights from 2004, maybe 2003, December 2003 to 2009, March of 2009, St. Patty's Day.
Yeah, and I think I met you at an event that Rod Ryan did at Baker Street in Willowbrook.
That's possible.
I think I did meet you there, because when I really met you was at the War Hippie show, right? Was that the first time
that was the first time
we had already been
when
talking?
I fangirled on you.
Yeah, because you came up to me and we started chatting. Yeah, like so it was really cool because like I look at you as kind of a local celebrity, and
Thanks.
and it's cool that I'm at that point in my life where I'm like getting to hang with,
Bro, you're a rock star.
I'm not a fucking rock star, dude. I'm just a normal dude.
Bro, you
who-
have a live album out.
Yeah,
That's rock star shit, dude.
I don't know, man. I guess I never think I am where I am, I guess.
And that's cool, but you are. You know what I mean? You are. I remember, I don't know if I told you this, but I cruise the same way. I work in Conroe and I live in Springs, so I go 45 every day. And it was probably a couple months ago, but I'm driving by Dosido, and your name is just so huge. Like as I'm driving by on I was like, holy shit. It's like Jeff Canada, like really big. And I don't think I've ever had my name that big anywhere on the side of the freeway. No.
Yeah, it's crazy because that I guess you kind of take for granted just a little bit because that venue is a very, very like special venue.
Yeah,
and the who's who of songwriters play
sure.
there.
It's iconic,
and it's crazy because I posted a post this morning because I played there last night, and I posted a post sitting on the staircase, and I said, "Man, it's crazy how often I get to walk down these stairs and be introduced to that stage." Because I get to play there. I play there a few times a year, and we always pack it out, and it's just nuts. I mean, Vince Gill's played that stage. Charlie
Yeah.
Pride's played that stage, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy just to think that I can just call them up and be like, hey, I want a show. And they're like, when do you want it? And,
That's
you know,
awesome.
You know what I mean?
man.
It's not like I'm begging for it. They
That's
just,
also rock star shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's easy to do whenever you're in your own hometown and you've been playing in this town for 15 years, you know? I wouldn't say it's easy to do, but it's, you know, I don't want to talk about me a whole lot on this thing, but when I did that first album release party in 2020 there and we sold it out, I just released the album the night before. Those 450 people that were there, they weren't there for my music. They were there because I've been, you know, playing cover songs in this town forever and just hanging out and partying and being crazy and making so many friends. And that's why they were there. And so that's kind of really special to me because, I don't know, it just means a lot that people come out and see me play like that, even before they knew what my music was.
Yeah, man. I mean, well, I think you've transcended music too a little bit, right? Like you're kind of a big deal on the internet, you know, your socials and you know, you got a little bit of a following. Right?
I'm trying. I'm doing everything I can do. I don't think anyone remembers Safe. And I think that's the big deal. I think if you're authentic and you're real and you're not playing things safe because you're not scared to, I'm not talking about be a dick and say shit just to piss people off, but like be you, be real, and don't not be you because you're scared that somebody's not going to like it. Because those people that aren't going to like it, they're going to find something not like you for anyway.
Right. There's
Right?
always going to be some haters, man.
Yeah, so you might as well just go ahead and be you and let those fuckers hate you. hate you.
You know what I've learned,
For you.
man, is haters help the algorithm too.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so it, you know, thankfully I don't have that many haters, and if I do, they're silent ones, right? Like,
Yeah.
I do sometimes feel like I have a lot more people watching. I get so many views, right? I get all these notifications about my views, but people just don't like it or don't comment, and it's like, you know, it's getting better. I used to not post as much, but with my podcast now and with the new radio show, I just felt, and being that we're living in the future, and you kind of have to do that. Like, I've really been trying to work at it and do it every day, right?
Yeah.
I'm still not good with doing it on all different platforms. Not to get away from your question, but
It's hard. I mean, there's so many to do. Like, it's what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to treat each platform differently. Whereas before I would like post the same thing to Instagram that goes to Facebook, same thing goes to Twitter, same thing goes to Threads now, same thing goes to TikTok.
Right.
Now what I'm doing is I'm like, okay, I'm going to use Instagram and Facebook. I kind of post like I'll like if I'm going to type something, I'll type that on Facebook. If it's, you know, something more detailed, if it's a video, I post to Instagram, or a picture, I post to Instagram, but it posts to Facebook as well. But like Twitter, I'm just getting on there and talking shit. And then Threads, my rule on Threads is every one of my posts has to have the word fuck in it. So I'm like doing that. And then TikTok, what I was going to start doing was using it as like a daily diary for people that want to follow, you know, a musician that's trying to make things happen. But man, it's just so exhausting trying to remember to, because I'm not one of those guys that pulls out his phone when something happens. I like live in the moment, right? If somebody's doing something cool, I don't pull my phone out to catch it. I just enjoy what they're doing, and I need to get better about that. But it's hard and it's frustrating.
Yeah, it's kind of my job to do that too. You know, as like a journalist, I feel like it's my duty to cover, you know, music and capture these moments. And sometimes that can be a little bit annoying. You know, like when I was at that Jelly Roll show, I had to tell myself, like put your phone away and watch a couple of songs, right?
Yeah.
Or just get something for me. You know what I mean? That I'm not going to put on the internet. But and it's weird too because I film so much content and then I put like 2 minutes of it up on social media. You know?
Well, that's just the way it is. I mean, shit, it takes me 3 hours to edit a 30-second clip.
Yeah.
That's annoying as fuck.
Thankfully, I don't do any of that. I mean, I do all my socials and shit, but like podcasts, I just show up and talk shit. You
That's
know?
what I do for this.
Yeah.
I just
That's
show.
awesome.
I hit record. Or Dalton Earl Shreds, whatever. He's the one that actually I give him the hard drive and he goes through and edits it down. And
Fuck yeah.
that's the whole reason he was my number one episode. It's not because I like him. I can't stand the guy. Actually, it was just it was so I would have the technical expertise.
He's so fucking cool, man.
He is, dude.
He's
hilarious, man.
He's a fucking hoot, dude.
Yeah, and especially when you get him wound up.
I did
on
not know
something.
y'all were synced up like that because you're a hoot too, bro. I would love to fucking be in the same room with you two fellas, man. What a fucking night that would be.
Yeah, there's a few people out there that I really like. Chad Prather, like when him and I are in the same room, it's just like, or like, do you know? I don't know if you know any of the Houston comedians, but like Slade Ham and
Yeah. I know.
so Slade's on the episode that's coming out tonight. He's a really close friend of mine, and Jerry Wayne Longmire, and dude, you get all of us in a room, and it's just it's stupid. You know Brian Carey on BC?
Yeah, I know BC.
So in 2019, Philip, my old bass player, me, Slade, and BC went on a Colorado mountain climbing trip together.
Really?
And dude, all of us in a fucking car for 18 hours. It was just, I mean, it was chaos. It was
Yeah, I've had some good times with BC down south. This was a long time ago, but back in the day, we used to have we made real good use of our time together, and I've always liked him as a musician. I always thought he was crazy talented and
sick.
Yeah.
But now he's like the dad. I mean, just had his fourth kid, and I think his first one was born in 2019.
And I noticed he's like a real like music teacher or something, right? Like that's his gig now.
Yeah, he's got his own studio. I think it's called Best Music Lessons Ever or something like that.
I watched a live stream of him one night too, where it was just like he was set up like in his living room or something, and he did like a concert, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, he's stupid talented. He always has been. He's one of those guys. He's younger than me, but he's one of those guys in the cover scene. I got involved in the cover scene in 2006, and he was in a band called The Crisis.
Yeah, BC and The Crisis.
And man, I mean, he's like one of my little big brothers. He was such a mentor back then, and him and I would talk about everything. That's when we became friends. And like Seven with Strippers Live was the same way, and Preston with Adrenaline. All those bigger cover bands, or Brett with Rat Ranch. Remember those dudes?
Hell yeah, I remember all those bands, bro.
Yeah.
All those bands.
Yeah, dude, the early 2000s were a great time in Houston for the cover scene.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really good time for me, going back to the Buzz question that you asked, I started there in 2004, and shortly after that, Scout Bar opened, and I started doing the Texas Buzz. I was doing the Texas Buzz before Scout Bar, but not that long. Pam Kelly had done it before me.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then she went to the Rod Ryan show, and then I took it over, and Scout opened right after that. And so for 6 years or something, every week I was at Scout we did the Texas Buzz there live, man, and I booked the bands along with Thomas, the guy who owns the place, and
good old Thomas.
Yeah.
What was the band he was in?
The Hunger. Yeah. Vanishing Cream, bro.
Those dudes.
Yeah.
I had one of their drummers, Giovanni, one of their drummers, played drums for me after that, and he passed away a couple years ago.
Yeah, I love Giovanni Capello, man.
Yeah.
I can't believe you brought him up, man. He is a really good friend, man, a really good person, a really good soul, someone that I believe is super special. He was also, a musical teacher.
Yep.
And he was a father, and he was a fun dude. We had plenty of really crazy nights, but deep down, I love Gio. He was a really good person, and he actually, Jeff, I don't want to get into it really here, but Gio saved my life at one point, man.
Yeah.
He really did. And if it wasn't for him, I definitely wouldn't be sitting right here on this couch right now.
That's awesome.
So,
yeah, we kind of ended on a bad, I wouldn't say a bad term, but when I had to let him go from the cover band I was in, it was kind of bad. And I didn't talk to him for a while. And then I would say probably 6 months before he passed away, he called me up one night. I mean, out of the blue, this is the first time I've talked to him in years. And he was like, man, I want to talk to you about some stuff. And I was like, okay, let's have it. And he basically just told me how proud he was of me by going after this thing, and he was just super thankful that he was able to play with me, and he apologized about some stuff, and I told him he didn't have anything to apologize for. It's just business, it's not.
Yeah,
it's stupid. It's not like you fucked my girlfriend or something.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, he might have.
He probably would have. But no, it's like, and so it was. We talked for probably 2 or 3 hours that night, man. And then I think I talked to him one more time before he passed away. And yeah, he was a good dude, man. But he, he like most of us musicians, he was troubled. And
yeah, I'm sure. I've had some moments at Scout Bar, man, where I probably lost some friends at Scout Bar. After working at the Buzz, some crazy shit. Like I got in a fight with Two Sweets, who was the door guy there for years.
Oh,
he
really?
was like a good friend. He's like family. And one night I was just off the rails, man. And so shit happens. I get it. But we all. I mean, fuck. That's one thing that I am learning, man, as I get older, which fucking sucks. But as I'm getting older, I realize that these moments that I have with the people that I interact with that are a part of the scene, that are my real friends and that are always around, are the special ones. And I try to tell all my people all the time, hey, man, I love you, dude. I love working with you. Thank you for letting me be a part of this. And just show gratitude and appreciation, because it could all be over like that, for any of us at any time, for any given reason. It's,
I do that. I actually have a little system that I have set up where, so the people that are in my phone and stuff, like the people that are close to me or musicians, where I try to send them a text or whatever on a regular basis, just be like, hey, just want you to know I love you.
Hell yeah.
I just reach out to random folks a lot like that, because man, I agree with you. I mean, ever since my mom died in 2018, that's when everything really changed for me. You start really looking at like, oh shit, your mortality comes into question. And,
for sure.
And then all the friends I've lost because of suicide and overdoses, and that's what was bad about Gio. I figured if anything's gonna take that kid out, it would be the party, but it was just cancer, man. Cancer,
which sucks, man.
Sucks, dude. Brutal. But we don't want to stay all down.
The
and
internet
sad
doesn't want to hear about
it.
that fucking shit. God damn.
Well,
Gio.
I just think that. I think it's just real life shit we deal with,
It is, man. And, like I said, all that stuff is tough, but you have to, and it kind of goes back to what you're talking about with that picture. You have to be in the moment. You can't let any of these moments be too profound, even though that might be super difficult, right? Like while you're in it, you got to really appreciate it and know that, these moments aren't guaranteed again, right? And
for sure. And it's short. Life is short, man.
And I tend to kind of have more fun when I have that mental thing going on. I try to give it my best, right? And give all my energy to it, and also receive the energy, the good energy, right? The good vibes. So that's what I'm trying to learn in my old ass age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 43.
Oh, so you're right there. I'm 44.
Okay, I'll be 44 in June.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you're just a hair. I'll be 45 in January, so I'm a little over a year older than you.
Yeah.
That's cool. Man. But we look the same. We got the same.
You look way younger than me.
We got
bro.
the same figure.
Shit, I wish.
we got no, we do, bro. We're both like fluffy.
You're a very tall. You're like an you're a very tall man.
I'm tall, but I'm fat as fuck.
Nah,
dude,
bro.
you don't want to see this. I'll take this fuck shirt off right now on this podcast. You'll see how disgusting
he actually sent me
it
a
is.
text this morning and said he was only going to be wearing boxers. So I'm a little disappointed, but
well, hey,
I put on this tie dye for you,
Nice.
special. I wasn't kidding. I had to pull this out. I don't often wear tie dye, but I wanted to. You make me feel like this tie-dye looks right now. Like,
oh yeah,
you light off all my colors, my senses. I love everything about you, bro. And I wanted to show some respect. And this is how I feel when I hear Jeff Canada, when I see Jeff Canada play, when I see you on the internet, man. I'm just bursting I'm like a big fucking Skittle that exploded, dude. Seriously, man, I fucking love you, and I thank you for having me on.
Oh yeah, you were one of the first people I thought about when I started this thing. I was like, man, I gotta have Zakk on. I hope he'll do it. It's funny because man, I'm in a weird spot right now because I have a lot of eyes on me, right? And not all of those eyes are the adult eyes. A lot of them are kids' eyes. And, for some reason, I've become this mentor to some of these kids. And it's like, fuck, I don't want to change who I am just to appease these. And so I think there's going to be some issues with some people that are in more professional setting that aren't going to want to come on this show because, you just don't ever know what I'm going to say or do. And I'm going to try to each episode, the guest that is, give it the respect. Like really know who the guest is.
What do you know about me, Jeff?
I know that every single time I see you, you put a fucking smile on my face. I know that for sure. I remember listening to the radio, the late night drive homes on the Buzz back in the day.
Golly, did you hear my stomach? Sorry.
I kind of lost everything whenever you went to the Bull because I don't listen to pop country at all. Dude, let me tell you something. I love Nick Russo. Like I love him, and I got so much mad respect. And there again, it's a hard position to be in because right now I have this very, very negative view on Texas radio, like super, super, like bad. And I want to expose. I'm the kind of guy that when I see bullshit or what I feel is bullshit, I'm the kind of guy that feels like it's my responsibility to shed a light on it. If that makes sense.
We need those people. And
so right now I'm in like this serious negativity realm right now about Texas radio. And so it's hard for me to go online and rail on Texas radio and the charts and the promoters and all that stuff while still having friends like Nick Russo and Corliss and yourself. I don't ever want something I post to come across as a shot at y'all. Right. Because it has nothing, there or Lisa Christie or, any of those people. Like there are a lot of people out there that are really about the artist. And I know Nick's one of those guys. I mean, him and I talked for a lot, like hours at the T3R Awards. We hung out all night.
Nick's a real one, bro.
And he really cares about me and he cares about us. And that I just feel that if all program directors were that way, it would fix the mess that is the mess.
Yeah,
right
but
now.
they're definitely not.
They're definitely
I've worked
not.
for some shitty human beings that were in that position that, they weren't fans of country music, right? They had no connection to country music fans, the pulse of country music, right? They were there to, hobnob, whatever, take a picture with whoever, wherever, do this, do that, eat the free dinners from the record labels, which are nice. But fortunately now I really feel, Jeff, and I'm not just saying this, but I feel like working where I work now with Lisa, I feel like they're the real deal, man. They support Texas artists. They support independent artists. They are independent. It's not corporate owned. They're a local family that's been in Magnolia, Montgomery County for years. And, they are lined in the fabric of country music and Texas country music and are responsible for so many of the people that we look up to that are our heroes from this area that are on the big stage that have that huge worldwide spotlight on them. They help put on the map. There's so many legends that work there, bro. That place has so much soul in it and shit. And like I said, it's independent. They let me do my fucking show that I haven't done, honestly, bro, since I worked at the Buzz. When I was at the Bull, I never really did the Zakk United show. I was on the air. I was fucking selling pop country songs, right? I was like, hey, check out the new fucking Luke Bryan and whatever. But at KSTAR, I get to do a show again, which is the first time that I really feel like it's the first time I've had the opportunity to do that since the Buzz, and they support me and all the wild fucking ideas that I have. They don't always say yes, but they at least hear me out on them, and that's tough to get in a corporate environment, and it's you know, I've worked with shitty people in the corporate side of things, but I've also worked for people at the same company who were really great human beings.
Yep.
And even though they were great human beings and they got it, they still had to answer to somebody, right, who maybe didn't align with, you know, what really is. And I think it also depends too on the market, right? Like
100%.
so wherever you are, but there was a while where, you know, it's like people try to be so Texas, right? And it's like you can't. There's no trying. You either are or you aren't, right? Like it's not something you say. It's not something you do. It's not how you dress. It's how you act because you were raised that way. It's where you're from.
It's in your DNA.
It's in your DNA.
Yeah.
It's the people that you eat with, and if you don't eat with those people, it's gonna come off as fake, right?
Yeah.
And I really feel, man, that KSTAR is like my home, bro. Like I really,
It's badass.
I have no fucking. I want to work there as long as possible and fucking rep that flag as long as possible. You know.
You know, my thing about the radio is not necessarily like I don't hate pop country. I don't hate what they're doing, right? I like the Bull. Let's just take the Bull for example.
Yeah.
You know, they're a pop country station, right?
Sure.
And I get it. And in that world you play the pop stuff. My issue with Texas radio is more of the radio stations that say they're red dirt and they say they're Texas. So they're playing Texas, Oklahoma, you know, or the Appalachia, you know, more of the indie stuff, more the independent artist stuff, not so much of the big record label stuff. But then when you get into those charts and you go down and you start listening to these songs on these charts, and some of them are just fucking terrible. And so it's like, okay, how did this person get on this chart? How did this person get on this radio station? But then even top that off, I know this for a fact. With my Ride With Me campaign, I got up to number 48 in Texas. Okay. It was on the middle of the chart for so long in 2022 that it was the 135th most listened to song for the year.
Hell yeah.
Well, but you go back and you pull the databases of these stations that say they're playing it, and they weren't playing it. So
which is fucked.
So they were just riding on the end because of who my radio promoter was.
Mm-hmm.
And so this time when I did Back to Texas, you know, we got a number 1 in Australia. We got top 10 in Portugal, top 10 in Brazil, top 10 in Ireland. I never even hit the T3R chart at all. Not once. But yet I'm getting more Shazams than I ever have. And, you know, that's part of the problem. Another part of the problem is, and I normally don't call people out, but directly, but like the Ranch. You know, let's just take the Ranch, for example. There for a while, the Ranch was the station, right? The Ranch, if you got on the Ranch, it was like, the
one in Fort Worth?
Yeah, the one with Shane Hollinger. Yeah. He's the program director. You know, we flat out sent him a song, and I have the email back from him. He said, "Yeah, it's a good song. It's a great song, but Jeff just doesn't have a big enough name for us to play on this station." So is it a good song or not? Like, is it a good song, or am I not?
Well, now, bro,
you know,
to keep it A1 with you,
yeah, please.
You got to have a good song, and you got to have the social media presence. They want both,
which I have both,
and I agree with you.
You know,
I agree with you 100%. I feel like you are, especially with that song Back to Texas, where your platform is right now, which is pretty much, I mean, that song didn't come out too long ago, so you're kind of, you know, you've had those numbers. I think that's crazy, right?
Yeah, and Corliss talked to me about it. She was like, you know, one of the problems that you have is it's a slower tempo song. I released it in the middle of summer, and I listen. I get all that. If you don't want to play it, don't play it.
Yeah,
right.
Some people do have the tempo thing going on. I know that.
Well, here's another thing. Check this shit out. This will blow your fucking mind. We went back and looked at who was playing Ride With Me more than 10 times a week. And then we looked at who's playing Back to Texas. There were 20-something stations, whatever, that were playing Ride With Me 25, 30 times a week. that aren't playing Back to Texas at all. So we sent them just a quick email that said, "Hey, y'all were playing Ride With Me, but you're not playing Back to Texas." And to me, Back to Texas is a better Texas country song than Ride With Me. It may not be a better song, I don't know, but it's a better Texas country song. And do you know how many replies we got back out of those 20 something emails?
Zero.
So now I'm like, I'm not going to do it. You know, I'm not going to.
Which is weird because I honestly prefer working with an artist myself, right? Now, I've been a program director at Texas country radio stations. I've been a music director before. I programmed my Texas show at the Buzz. Nobody else decided who I played, who I booked, none of that shit. And I always prefer to deal with somebody in the band unless the band says, "Hey, talk to my guy or girl," right? And then I will go that route. But I would much rather not work with, and I hate to say this, but it's like the cool thing about promoters is they send me music, and I love getting new music, right? So it's cool to get the emails every week. I'm on every email list I can be on, and they flood me with music, which is awesome. Right. But no one, from when I'm programming something, no one is going to influence me and what I think people should be hearing based on what I am seeing and the life that I am living in country music or whatever kind of music I'm trying to put out there. You know, I don't want to be, if a song is good, bro, it doesn't matter to me, right? If it's doing good on the charts. I mean, there's a point in every song's life where no one's heard it. This is the first time we're going to play it, right?
For sure.
And I fucking want to be that guy. Like as a music guy, as a DJ, I want to find that shit that I can give to my audience and the people that come to me for fucking, you know, the music that I like, and give them something that they haven't heard, and then that shit blow up. But I never like to be influenced by the promoters or.
Well, I'm glad I got you in here because I think that's a big topic that's going on right now amongst the artists, right? I mean, almost every artist that I talk to, with the exception of a few that live and die by that chart, but most of those guys aren't doing very well.
And let's also say this, right? Let's put this out on Front Street. And it's not just with the Texas country, but with Billboard.
Oh, for sure.
It's a pay-to-play game, right?
100%.
No matter how you look at the transactions, no matter if there is a money trail that is obvious, it is a pay-to-play game, right? And at the end of the day, the music industry is really owned by like one big dog.
Yeah.
That big dog, do you know who it is?
Couldn't tell you.
Sony Music. Think of everything that fucking Sony owns, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Fucking digital equipment, headphones, fucking the Walkman, fucking CD, you know, everything, bro.
Dildos.
Plus the music, probably, right? Like, I mean.
You haven't seen the latest and greatest
seriously,
Sony
though,
dildo?
if you do research, man, and you look at fucking whatever record label you want to go after, go look at any of them. And if you trace it back, 99.9% are going to have something to do with fucking Sony. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
Right? And when you're that big, you can kind of fucking control the narrative, man. Just like anything, bro. Just like in government, whatever. Like,
for sure. Yeah.
They control the narrative, and they can make or break somebody, bro. They can put some fucking rando off the street that no one's ever heard of, and overnight make this person fucking crazy, viral, famous.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to fucking do a song or a show with them and shit. Like, it's fucking wild to me, man. It's wild to me.
But when you get into the Billboard stations, there's nobody trying to hide that. But when, for some reason, in Texas radio and small market radio, you know, a lot of these stations are saying that they're for the independent artist, you know?
Yeah.
And again, I'm not talking about KSTAR. I'm not talking about KKK. Like, Nick does a great job doing the KKK thing. I'm not talking about Maverick or Corliss's. I'm not talking about those stations. I'm just talking, there's just a lot of the stations that say that they're independent art. You know, they're independent artist driven, and
Well, sure, they're gonna say that,
and they're just not. And so it's not real.
and then they're owned by a corporate outlet.
Right. Well, I think.
I mean, I can think of one big media outlet right now that I won't mention their name, but they start with a T, and they own a shitload of Texas country radio stations in Texas, like fucking a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they have anybody in Texas programming that fucking music, bro. And that to me is kind of fucked. Like,
dude, it's so bad.
How are you going to let an outsider influence fucking Texas culture and music?
Right.
To me, that's wrong, bro.
No,
like,
I agree 100%.
Like,
and it sucks because I don't want to come across as this bitter guy that can't get a number one. Because first of all, everybody knows how I feel about it. I think awards for music in any way, shape, or form.
Why do you want a number one though?
I don't fucking care. No, what I'm saying is, I think that awards for music are bullshit because music is subjective. Right.
Yeah.
And but I don't want a number one. I can give a flying fuck less if I ever win a CMA, a Grammy. I mean, it'd be cool to win one, but I don't care. That's not my goal. My goal is to get my music in as many ears as possible. I just want the stations playing my music. And if you tell me you're playing it, I want you to be fucking playing it.
Right.
Don't tell me that you're playing it 35 times a week and you're not. And you can really tell because you're getting played 40 times a week in a market, and then you go play that place and no one comes out.
And
to
it's
the
your
show.
belief, if I'm correct, that has to do with the promoter that you hired.
Correct.
To promote your song.
Yeah, I think the major disconnect is between the promoter and the program director on some of these stations. That's where the thing is. They have some sort of agreement, some sort of something going on where they can say, "Hey," and I've seen the emails. Like, that's what people don't realize about me. I'm very connected, and I know a lot of people, and I've seen the emails from some of these promoters. They're like, "Hey, play so and so this many more times this week and spend this guy a little bit less this week," that are both his artists. Well, that artist that he just told you to spend a little bit less spent the same $5,000 that the guy you just told to spend a little bit more.
Let me just play devil's advocate. They may do that in some scenarios similar to what you just described, because let's just say, for example, okay, let's just take Bailey Zimmerman. Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to play his song 25 more times over the next 3-4 weeks. We're going to ramp his shit up because he's got a show coming in, right? And we want to be connected to that show, right? And we're not going to play as many songs from fucking, I'm just saying this, they're not on the same label, but let's just say Brad Paisley, right? We're gonna decrease some of the spins on the Brad Paisley and put in those 25 extra Bailey Zimmerman songs because Bailey Zimmerman's doing a show. We want to have access. We want to be able to get our listeners something, whatever that may be, whether it's a lounge experience where he comes in and plays an acoustic set and we get to give away 200 fucking things on the radio, whether it's just him giving us extra tickets or the label giving us extra tickets to give away as promotion, right? So it could be that, but it could also, there could be some shady shit going on, bro.
But you're actually doing the spins.
100%.
That's my point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, but no, these are like, hey, on this Texas artist, and I won't say any names either, but I have a few, but I won't say them. Like, on this Texas artist, we're trying to get his 5th number one or 8th number one or 12th number one. So we want you to spend this guy 25 more times this week and take 15 away from this other artist that I'm also being paid to promote just to get him over that hump. And it's like, to me, when you start influencing the charts, like, that's,
But that's every day, though, even in
I get it.
Outside of Texas,
it's and not just that, it's everything. You know, it's always about who you know and what you're doing, and that's fine. Again, I don't care.
And what you're doing for me right now.
Right. And again, I don't care because, again, I just don't give a shit about a number one because I know what a number one does in Texas. This. Yeah. I mean, it may give you some better festival billing, but it doesn't equal asses and seats. And I'm telling you, know me. The one thing I care about is asses and seats. That's it. I care about who's coming out to see me play. And I care about how much they enjoyed that show when they were there doing it. I care about my fans. That's what I care about.
Yeah, see, to me, those are the awards, bro. Those are better than any CMA is making a real connection with a fan who's going to come to your show, buy your merch, fuck with you online, care about what Jeff's doing or whatever artist, right?
Yeah, somebody just told me that they played my song Needle and Thread at their mom's funeral. And when I got that message, bro, that right there, I don't know of a single award that can top that. I just don't.
And for the most part, man, I will agree with what you said. Awards are like, I don't know what you want to call it, but it's kind of like, I mean, I even used to, I did the Texas Buzz Awards. I created that shit. And it was, honestly, man, I wanted to thank the people that helped me on that show, the bands who came there and fucking played for free or played at fucking 7 o'clock, right? Like, I wanted to recognize them. And
because you're doing it from your heart and from a real place.
Yeah.
It's not because this program director.
Well, when I was doing my thing, it's also like there's like no fucking money involved, right? We're talking like a completely different game when it comes to Nashville and Texas country radio. You know, there's so much money involved, right?
Dude, it's insane. In case anybody's wondering, normally a normal radio promoter in Texas charges an artist $5,000. That's what the rate is.
And what do you get for that?
Okay, so let's just go through this. Let's unpack this. So for $5,000, you don't get shit. There's no guarantees. There's no anything. And the promoter can pull out at any point. They can tell you, sorry, the song's not doing good. This is all we got. You know, how long's my promotion for? Well, they say 20 to 25 weeks. But if 8 weeks into it, if it's not getting the traction they want, they'll pull out. And you're like, well, I want my money back. Well, you don't get anything back. Well, why the fuck not? You know, it's the equivalent of, and I use this, I made a Facebook post about this one time. It's the equivalent of having a company come into your house and you say, okay, I want you to clean my carpets. Okay. And they say, okay, it's going to cost you $5,000. I'm going to come in and clean your carpet for $5,000. They come in, they clean one room and they say, well, fuck, this isn't working. And they just split and they get to keep the money. And it's that sort of thing. And here's the deal. And let's be real about this. I'm paying you $5,000 for you to basically send 20 to 25 emails.
Right.
That's it. That's what I'm paying you for. Like, because you have a relationship with the program director. Right. And you're making, and I'm not saying I'm not saying you don't deserve to get paid. That's not what I'm saying. But why can't it be, instead of, okay, I'm going to give you $5,000 with nothing guaranteed, who knows what'll happen? Why can't it be, okay, I'm going to give you $1,000 up front. All right. And then we're going to have these mile markers. And every time I hit this mile marker for you, you pay me this amount of money. Right? Because then what that does is it puts everyone in the process. You're all invested in what happens. Mm-hmm. So, right? So if you're the radio promoter, I give you $1,000. Okay. And then you know that if you get me to number 50 on the teeth, let's just use this for example. If you get me to 50 on the TTR chart, you're going to get another $1,000. And then if you get me to top 10, you're getting another $1,000. You get me number 1, you get another $1,000. Well, that makes $4,000 or $5,000 worth it. Yeah. For you, for me, for everyone in the thing. But if you say, I'm just going to give you $5,000, okay, there's no incentive whatsoever for you to really work for me other than word of mouth. But I know this for a fact too. There's some radio promoters out there that have their cash cows. They're guys that are going to get to number 1 no matter what. And then they're making money off other artists, not really promising them the same thing, but kind of.
And the relationships that you're paying for as I don't want to say the little guy, but as the guy that's not had the number 1 yet, right?
Right.
You know, their relationships, the promoters' relationships with the program directors have to be influenced on some level by who their bigger artists are in their entourage, right? Like, or their fucking whatever.
Or monetarily, or, I mean, there could be
that too.
Million different reasons.
But I also feel like what you're saying is I don't know the person you're talking about that you did your thing with, I'm really kind of fucking removed from that because I just kind of, like I said, I get their emails and I appreciate that, and I don't have any problem with promoters, but I'm not influenced by anything other than what I like, right?
Yeah.
But back to what I'm saying is I feel like those promoters' relationships are weighted differently because of the artists they may or may not be working with, and I also feel like some of them have been in the game so long that, they have 10, 15, 20, 25 friends that are program directors or music directors. And, they do this so often. This is the hustle every day. It's the same relationship they've had with these guys for years.
Yeah.
They say, here, man, it's kind of like, what do you call it? Like status quo. You're just doing it because that's what they do. So here's my list this week. And the guy who's probably seen 100 fucking lists, the program director, the music director, he's like, okay, fucking, I know he's XYZ is my boy, but fucking I got 10 other things going on. So I feel like to me, it kind of seems like, and this is not just in music, but it's also in fighting. I'm a big fight fan, and in boxing, MMA specifically, and fucking in MMA, you have these promoters and managers that are taking fucking guys' money and their fight bonuses and shit for what? You're not getting in there, fucking fighting, right? What do you mean you get 10% of my fucking win money, dude? Like why? It's just, I think it's fucking old politics type shit, like how are you going to break the cycle, bro? Like, how are you going to break the cycle? So I kind of feel like,
well, I think you're seeing it happen. I think right now is kind of the best time there is in independent music, because here's the deal. And not this is not an offense to you or to anyone in radio, but there are so many different avenues now
100%.
for you to intake music.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? There's Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, radio. I mean, there's a million different ways. It's social media. And so I think now more than ever, you're starting to see people break through independently. I mean, Cody Jinks Cody Jinks is a prime example. Co Wetzel, those guys never really had a lot of radio play, and if you go back into like Pantera days, those guys never had a fucking radio song.
Yeah.
So I think it is possible to, but I think now it's even easier.
I think it's the future.
Right, I agree. And I think what's going to happen is I think radio is always going to be a thing.
Yep.
But I think that radio eventually is going to have to go to more of a user kind of more like playlisting kind of vibe. Instead of having like a program director, it would be more automatically done by people that go on the website and they click their favorite songs, and then that creates the playlist, kind of like Spotify.
I see what you're saying.
I don't know for sure. I don't know.
That's a good idea.
I just think that that's what's going to happen. But even Spotify, the whole thing about Spotify, it was supposed to be set up for the artist and to not be, and the labels weren't supposed to have any influence over it.
Yeah.
But now even Spotify's going over to like, well, now the labels are having huge influences on the Spotify playlists.
Well, see, on the flip side of it, from an industry person's standpoint, I will say this too, that it's sometimes difficult to assess whether those digital numbers are accurate, real,
right?
Like
100%.
And it's like, the other thing too is, Jeff, there's so much fucking good music, bro.
Yeah.
There's so much good music, bro.
Which is even more of a reason to play the good songs. Stop playing the bullshit that sucks. And I'm not saying that as in a Florida Georgia Line song versus a Jeff Canada song. That's not what I'm saying sucks.
I'd fucking listen to Jeff Canada over Florida Georgia Line any day of the week.
I'm just saying.
I'm Zakk United. You can put that on fucking record.
I'm just saying that there's music that are being played on these stations that's just not good.
Right.
The vocalist isn't good. The mix isn't good. The whatever. It's just not good.
I agree
but it's
with you,
still
man.
getting played. Why is it getting played? and not just on one station. It's not like just
I think there's a lot of different reasons for that, though.
I'm sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure that if I released a song that wasn't that great and I sent it over to Nick Russo, he'd be like, dude, I'm not playing this shit.
Right.
And that's what we need. That's what we need. We need that guys like you and Corliss and Nick and people that are going to be like, I'm not playing this song. I don't give a shit if that's your premier artist. I don't give a shit that their last song went #1.
Right.
This song sucks.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Yeah.
And I think we need more of that. But really, we need more honesty in the world in general, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Just like honesty, not being a dick, just saying, man, that's not for us, or that's not a.
And some songs aren't for radio, bro. Like I
write
listen to so
90% of
much
mine.
music that's not on the radio.
Yeah.
I honestly, bro, radio's been my career, dude, and fed me for such a long time, and I don't listen to the fucking radio, dude.
I don't either.
I'm on the fucking radio. The only time I hear shit is when I'm at work,
Yeah.
right? Like
I did have some questions about that.
Go for it.
So like when you're spinning these songs, you got your headphones on
Yep.
and you're sitting in there. Whenever you hit play, or I don't know how all that works, but when the song's playing, do you take your headphones off and?
Sometimes I do.
Or do you listen? Or do you sit
if
there?
If it's my jam, I'm jamming it. Sometimes, Jeff, I sit in there literally with my headphones for the show on, and I'm listening to the music on the right side, and then I'll have my fucking my AirPods in, and I'm fucking searching for music on my phone to like play behind me or fucking talk, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I'm literally listening to like two things at one time. I caught myself the other day. I had my fucking AirPod in and I went to talk real quick. I was like short on time, so I just put my headphones on, and it was so fucking distracting because I had fucking I'm listening to two things as I'm like trying to talk and shit. But
and or do you ever like, and that was, and then say the wrong artist? It was what was in your ear.
Yeah, man, I've definitely said I've mixed some shit up. Sometimes, bro, and I kind of feel bad for saying this, but sometimes, working at KSTAR, I have the privilege that I don't, and this is shitty as a DJ, but I don't always front sell or back sell a song. I don't say fucking, hey, that was this, that was whatever. I just do my content, right?
Yeah.
And, if you do hear me talking about an artist and saying that was, this was, whatever, it's because I like them. I'm a fucking fan. I want you to know who they are.
And you're like a fan of music. I watch you at these shows. I mean, we meet up at concerts or whatever. I'll watch you. Like, you really love the music.
It's what I've been doing my entire life. And when I say that, man, I mean from the time I was like fucking 3 years old. My nana and papa, my mom's parents, they would take me to the Opry every fucking weekend, and I was seeing live music, live country music, gospel music. Fell in love with the steel guitar there, and then my first job ever, fast forward 10 years, I moved to Denver. My first job ever, bro, I'm 14, is working at Red Rocks, and seeing live concerts as a 14, 15, 16-year-old every fucking summer, having incredible access to such an iconic venue, working with Barry Fay, who's a fucking legendary promoter in Colorado, and then getting to do radio stuff because of that. I met people on the radio at my favorite radio station. I literally was a kid who would sit in my room when I first moved to Colorado. I grew up in Texas, Dallas. When I was 13, we moved to Colorado. I didn't fucking know anybody. The first summer I'm there, I'm playing video games in my room, just listening to the radio. I always wanted to be on the radio too, man, from a young age, but I didn't really know how I was going to fucking get there. And, because of these opportunities, like I said, at Red Rocks, I met a fucking weekend DJ at KBPI, which was like my favorite radio station in Denver. And, that got the ball rolling, man. I don't even remember what your fucking question was or how we got started.
No, this is awesome. This is cool stuff. I want these podcasts to just come across as natural conversation.
Yeah.
Not so much questions, answers. So when someone starts railing, like, I mean, on a roll, just let them go, dude. Because
Yeah.
I think that's
I am a fan of music though. That's what
yeah,
we're talking
you
about.
are, man, and I can see that. And to me, dude, that's who we need out there, man. We need.
I'm such a fan of music, bro. I literally I wake up listening to music. I'm going to sleep it's still fucking playing, you know, like I love being at a live show. I love being around musicians and hearing the stories of what music is, you know, whether it's in the studio at the radio station, whether it's out at a bar or a honky tonk, whether it's just fucking coming over to the house like what we're doing right now. Like I live for this shit, man.
Yeah.
Like it's my life.
That's awesome, dude. And that, like I said, though, and those are the people that I want to be around, man. I want to be around people that are in it for those reasons.
I'm in it for the music.
You know how
man.
many artists are out there playing that fucking they're just doing it for their own ego. They don't really,
Yeah.
you know, they don't really believe in the music, and whatever. To each his
Do you
own.
mean like Taylor Swift?
No, I listen. Taylor Swift's a phenomenal songwriter.
Oh,
She is, and you want proof in it? I'm gonna give you some proof.
no.
For real. So you know who Ryan Adams is, right?
Ryan Adams?
Ryan Adams.
Brian Adams.
Ryan Adams.
Ryan Adams.
You don't know who Ryan Adams is?
I mean, I don't know Ryan Adams. Okay.
Do you know the song "Come Pick Me Up" by Randy Rogers? Okay, well, we'll talk later. But Ryan Adams he's been around forever, like back in the Damien Rice days. Like he's been around forever, and he's also a producer. He's just a phenomenal artist, man. He was just amazing artist. Well, after 1989 came out, which was Taylor Swift's album, and everybody's just railing on her about teen pop bullshit. He was like, I'm going to show you how good of a songwriter Taylor Swift is. And he actually did his own version of 1989 from start to finish. And when you go listen to this guy's version of these songs, it will
I'm not saying she's not talented.
It will freak you the fuck out.
She's been very successful.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Way more successful than I am, will ever be.
Same here.
But I'm just, it doesn't appeal to me, and I don't. I'm of fuck, Jeff. I'm such a old school fucker when it comes to this shit. I kind of sometimes like to go against the grain, right?
Oh, yeah, me too.
You
always.
know what I mean? Like I'm never like.
I think her music sucks. Don't get me
liked
wrong.
some of her acoustic songs when she was like a kid and she first came out. Those were country songs.
Yeah,
they were okay. They were pop country, but now, my daughter's into her. My daughter, I have a 12-year-old, and she listens to Taylor Swift. She might fucking punch me when she sees this on. And I said that I don't know if she's like a Taylor fan. I don't think she's a Swiftie, right? But she listens to Taylor, and she doesn't like it when I talk smack about Taylor Swift. But I'm not she's more of like part of the machine, right? Like she is the fucking machine, dude.
Yeah.
And so from that kind of standpoint, I don't fuck with her, right?
Yeah. Well, I hope I never hear her name again after watching the Chiefs game yesterday. Like, dude, every single fucking break they were talking about Taylor Swift, and I'm just like, man, like you guys are sportscasters, leave it alone.
Yeah, that's fucking,
Woof.
I feel bad for Travis Kelce because
dude, you know his jersey sales went up 400%. You know you're fucking famous. You know that old Chris, I think it's Chris Rock joke. You know you're famous when you suck someone's dick and become famous. It's the whole Monica Lewinsky bill, whatever. Like it's you know that you're famous when the person you're dating's jersey sales go
Man,
up.
I would not want that shit, bro.
No.
I would not want it at all because it's becoming this gimmick, right? Like it's this fucking. It takes away from the game. It's got to be annoying as fuck for like Patrick Mahomes, like this guy's a fucking living legend that's out there on the field every Sunday. Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid's a fucking legend.
Yep.
And
Travis Kelce's a legend.
Travis Kelce is a fucking.
He might go down as the best tight end ever.
They're talking about Taylor Swift, and it's a fucking mockery, like she's bringing Ryan Reynolds. I saw she brought to the game and shit. And it's like,
yeah,
it's just a photo op, man. But that's part of the hustle,
But good for him for smashing that.
I'm just, I don't want to talk smack on Taylor, but she's not really what my thing, man. And I do kind of feel like when I see those Napoleon Dynamite fucking memes, bro, like,
I don't know what you're talking about.
what? You haven't seen the
So here's the deal about social media. I do not.
Oh shit! Where's my phone? I have one in my phone.
I do not surf social media. I'm output only. I'm output only. Every now and then I'll find myself going down that, and then I'll see a political post. I'm like, I'm out. I can't do it.
Yeah, I don't like politics shit.
I like talking about it, but
memes, bro.
I like talking about it, but I absolutely do not like. I don't
Bro,
like.
Look at this fucking.
Jesus Christ. That's funny.
It's so funny, dude.
That is hilarious. Man, that was such a funny movie too. Napoleon Dynamite.
Great fucking movie.
Great movie. Great movie. Have you seen Painkillers yet on Netflix?
No, I don't do Netflix, man.
Oh, you don't do Netflix? You anti-Netflix?
I am. Yep.
Man, we're just a bunch of contrarians here, bro.
I just here's the other thing. I'm against paying for fucking cable or satellite TV, dude. The internet's out there, people. There's a thing called fucking VPN. You can stream whatever the fuck you want any time of day, fights, shows.
Yeah.
I'm not for supporting the man and big business, bro. I'm a little guy, you know what I mean? I'm trying to fuck with my other little guy friends, you know.
I agree, but right now all of my anti anything is going toward Texas radio, and I don't have any more bandwidth to be anti anything else.
So,
and I'm kidding about that. That it's a joke. I'm not anti Texas radio.
Anti Texas radio.
No, I know
dude.
I'm not anti Texas radio. I'm anti fuckery, bro.
Yeah.
I'm anti-fuckery, and I know that there's some fuckery going on behind the scenes.
But there is that in anything, right?
No, for sure. For sure.
Until fucking, that's why you have a place like this, the Jeff Canada Show, where you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You get to decide the fuckery
I do.
that exists or doesn't exist. And
yes. Right, because there's probably going to be people that want to come on the show that are like, motherfucker won't have me on my show because I won't blah, 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 blah.
yeah.
And I'm like, no, I'm not going to have you on my show because you have nothing to offer at all. That's what I'm going to say. And then it's going to be, man, Jeff Canada's a fucking asshole. Okay.
Well, the other thing is, too, the world needs assholes.
Agreed.
So,
Yeah.
Rep that asshole flag, bro.
I think that if you're
and if you know Jeff, if you get to fucking know Jeff, you know he's not a fucking asshole. He's really a fucking great guy. He's a good fucking human. He's a fantastic musician and a singer-songwriter. I'm not just saying that because I'm sitting on your couch. But, I feel where you're coming from, and that sucks because I don't think you're the only artist that has these frustrations. Right?
Oh, no, I'm definitely not.
And
there are artists. I've had conversations with some artists that are on a whole nother level than me that are in the same boat. But like I said before, I'm not going to rail on it anymore after this. I'm not going to say anything else about it.
You saved it all for me?
Well, I definitely wanted to shoot the shit with you about it. Because because even though I think bullshit's going on, it's nice to have someone that's going to come in and say, well, hang on, let's play devil's advocate, right?
Yeah.
It's nice to have that. I always like those people. I think in order for you to be successful in anything, you have to not be the smartest one in the room. Right. You have to not know everything. You have to get people that are in it with you to tell you, like if you own a bar, right, and you're the bar owner and you don't listen to anyone on your fucking team and you just run the bar the way you want to run the bar, your bar's not going to make it. You got to have people that you trust. You got to have people that'll call you on your bullshit. And you're one of those guys. You're one of those guys to be like, well, hang on a second. You know what I mean? And that's a good trait to have. Those are the kind of people that I like. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to shoot the shit with you about it.
I guess I have this question for you as a fan of music. Does these frustrations that you have, do you write music about that? Does that fucking do you channel that fucking energy and put it into something else? Like
absolutely, 100%.
because I almost kind of feel like, you know, it does suck. As your friend, that sucks that you feel this way. But like as a fan of the music, I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. There's some adversity, so there's some good like almost like a Taylor Swift breakup. Like you know, when she breaks up, there's gonna be some fucking decent music coming out, right? Like, so it's almost like if this hadn't happened to you, maybe it's just a part of the story, man.
For
you
sure.
know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's what I'm doing. I'm embracing that way. I have a new song I wrote called High Horse. And it's not about a specific artist, although one specific artist it
Comes to mind.
yeah. It's about multiple artists that I've dealt with over the last few years of being on the road, and opening for folks or getting to know folks, you know, just being more in tune with the scene. And it's called High Horse, and it's basically that's what it's doing. It's calling those motherfuckers out and saying, hey, listen, bro, you put your pants on one leg at a time just like I do.
Yeah.
Like this, you know, you'd be much further along in your career if you would, you know, not be such a fucking douche canoe. That's pretty much what the song's about. So, yeah. And I actually started working on one called Texas Radio that is the same thing. Now, I don't know that any of this stuff will be released. We'll see. I like to write a song and then play it live for a few months. And then
What if you write a song called Texas Radio, shit talking Texas Radio, and then it blows up on Texas
and
Radio?
becomes the number one on Texas Radio? It wouldn't. I mean, there's just no way they would allow that to happen. You know, it got so bad. I got so pissed off about this. Not pissed off. Pissed off is not the right word, because again, I don't care about awards. But I know so many of my friends, bro, that are new in this industry that are dropping thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on Texas Radio because they think that's the way.
Yeah.
And they're being taken advantage of. You know, luckily for me, I had guys like Scott Brown and, you know, some other folks like that or Jody Booth that flat out told me, like, listen, dude, if you have an extra $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 just sitting in your bank account, like if you're doing so good, you're just killing it, then yeah, then send some stuff to Texas Radio. Like, why not? You know, hit it from all levels. But if you're struggling and you're, you know, you can barely record songs, then the money needs to go to recording. You know,
Yeah.
but here's the real deal, right? We don't, as musicians, we don't get paid for radio spins.
That's the thing I was just thinking about. It's like,
So,
bro,
which
I'd
is
put
fine.
the money into whatever is going to
right.
fucking return it.
Right, which is fine. I don't care that we don't. Like, I don't care that I don't get paid much from Spotify. I just don't care.
But you get paid off of your live shows and your merch.
Yeah, and that's where I get paid. And so, but if you were to take that, imagine if you were to take $5,000, okay, and you were to book a ticketed event in a market, and let's just say College Station. You book a show in College Station, a ticket event, charging $10, $15 a head to get in, and you were to take 500 of that $5,000, and you were to blast just College Station, just ages whatever to whatever, country music fans, because you can find, I mean, all that shit's in the algorithm. You were to take that $500, you would have way more return on your money in that market. And if you do that on a consistent basis in that market, you'll start selling more and more tickets. And then if you're paying $5,000 for a 20-week song, that's 20 weeks, right? That you could spend $100 for 20 weeks every week. You could spend $200, $300, whatever. You could spend $400 a week. I don't know. I'm not really the mathematician, but if you were to take that, you would have much more return on your investment. Again, I'm not saying don't do Texas Radio, and I'm not saying that there aren't great stations out there. I'm just saying that you're going to have more bang for your buck if you'll spend $2,000 on a music video and $3,000 advertising that video.
Let me say this as a radio person. I will say that, and I thought about this earlier, way back when we first started the conversation, but, you know, radio will always be there because it's free and
For
people
sure.
have it in their cars. It's so accessible and shit, right? And I will say that I do feel like, and I feel like there will always be an audience for radio because it is free, just like basic TV, right? Like the 3 big channels and shit. People are going to watch that because.
But are those people going to go out and buy tickets for your show? If they
Not
won't even
necessarily,
Yeah,
not
I mean-
necessarily, but I don't know if you're guaranteed that even if you target your audience, right? Like,
I mean, I don't think anything's guaranteed, but it's the only reason I can say this is because I've tested it. I've done actual. I don't. Okay, I'm not gonna do. Hang on, I'm not gonna do this. But about 6 months ago, I was toying with the idea of shooting a documentary on Texas radio. Okay, and I went out and I started looking for investors for this project, and I found some, and we sat down and we discussed it at length, and I was going to seriously shoot a documentary on Texas radio.
I would fucking so watch that.
But what we decided was to hold off on that because I'm still an artist. And what I don't want to happen, like I said, I don't want to come across as bitter. You know, I don't want to come across someone that's mad at that industry because I never got my due. Because that's not it, man. I mean, it's not it at all. I just see some bullshit. And again, I feel like it's my responsibility to bring it to light. But, you know, maybe one day we'll do it. But that's just kind of where I was at. That's how motivated I was to get the story out there. You know, because I'm like I like to dive into stuff, deep dive, you know? And that's really what I've been doing for the last 3 years. Since 2021, I've just been gathering data and I've been testing things. I've been testing, okay, if we do this, this, and this, what works?
Can I ask you a question about that?
Yeah.
And forgive me if you want to edit this out or whatever.
I don't edit anything out. Fuck
I'm
it.
just curious. Like, when you did spend the money and you were placing on the chart where you were at in those 20 weeks or whatever, did you see a difference in your following on social media? Did you see your calendar getting booked more? You know, your schedule filling up? Did you see?
No, not on that promo. More happened on Back to Texas than anything, and I only spent $500 to promote Back to Texas.
Did you promote it with someone different?
Yes, but that person was getting me played on stations that aren't on those charts. Okay, and that's why I know for a fact. Here's a number for you. Whenever I was doing the Ride With Me promo, and I had all these stations, when I got to number 42, top 135th song of the year, I got 19 total Shazams for that entire thing.
You can tell how many times people Shazam you?
Yes, I can see it. 19 total Shazams. And what they're doing is when you come on the radio and it doesn't say it on the screen, people Shazam it.
Yeah.
When else would they Shazam it?
When I don't do my job and tell you who it is.
Right. But when else would they Shazam it? If they're listening on Spotify, they know who it is. If they're listening on or either that or if you're in a bar and it's a jukebox.
Right.
Well, on Back to Texas, dude, I'm getting 20, or I was, during that promo, I was getting 20 to 25 a week of Shazams. So what that does is that tells me that more real stations were playing Back to Texas for real, that had real listenership, and less people were really spinning Ride With Me that mattered. That's what that tells me. That's what that tells me. And so it's just all data driven. And that's the kind of stuff that I don't think is being discussed amongst the industry. Because you know what would be really badass, man? What would be really badass is if a chart came out that was Texas country music chart, and every single station that plays, it just monitored every single station out there digitally. Because I
feel like that used to be the case, media based, right?
Yeah, no, but you still have only certain, and see, that's another thing I was going to bring up earlier. I know this for a fact too. I know a chart, won't say what chart it is, that kicked a station off of their panel because they were playing one radio promoter's songs a lot, and another radio promoter complained to that chart that's a bigger radio promoter and said that guy, that station it was an internet station. That internet station is playing his stuff a lot and is not playing my stuff. And they eliminated the station off the chart completely, which I understand. I get it. If it's unfair, it's unfair. But you know, that's the thing. These charts, what is the panel? What is the panel making up these charts? You know what I mean? Like take the Bull versus KIKK, right? The Bull plays my stuff on Sundays.
Yep.
right? On Nick's Texas KKK Takeover show or whatever it's called.
Yep.
Those spins do not hit any of the Texas charts because the Bull is not on any of the panels for these Texas charts because the Bull is a national state. You know, they play national music.
Right.
They're not playing Red Dirt. But KKK, on the other hand, they're on the chart. So that's what I mean. You're not really getting a representation of what's really getting played. And when I say that Texas radio doesn't really affect your fan base, it's because the Texas radio stations are usually smaller market stations. Like, okay, let's just take KSTAR, for example. KSTAR plays pop music too. They play both pop, they play Red Dirt, they play a little bit of everything. So if you take a song like mine, I'm only going to get 3 or 4 spins, 1 or 2 spins a week from y'all's station, right? Because
it just depends, bro.
Well,
we play Peyton Howie and fucking like, I mean, I wouldn't say it's power. I don't know if she's like a rotation, but bro, I play Peyton Howie Orange 2, 3, 4, 5 times a week just during my show.
Yeah, that's a great song.
I played her today.
Yeah, that's a great song. Well, what I mean by that is the fan base wants to hear what the fan base wants to hear, and y'all, whether you are being told what to play or you're playing what you want to play, whatever it is, I get it on the national level, right? Like if you get a Billboard #1, that is going to affect your fan base, right? Mm-hmm. But a Texas #1 doesn't really build your fan base. That's my point. Because there's not on Red Dirt stations, a lot of those charts are internet radio stations. And how many people are listening to that internet radio station?
What does it do for the artist? Does it, I mean, so let's just say like, I'm thinking of like the big guys, right? Like the fucking, and I'm not talking about the guys who have made it that, not Parker McCullum, not Cody Johnson, not shit like that, but like the guys that play the Texas circuit that are the bigger guys that are the higher paid tier of Texas talent. What advantage does it give them to get to be on the chart, to have a #1? It only increases your value when you're getting booked at a venue, right?
No way. I think if you're getting paid regularly on the Bull, right?
Played,
the Bull,
yep.
like the Bull or 93Q Country, they're right. They're huge stations.
Yep.
They have a huge listenership.
Yep.
If you're getting played on that, it doesn't matter about the charts. Let's just talk about radio play. If you're getting played on those stations, you're going to gain fans. It's just how it is. I mean, if you're driving down the road and you hear a song you like, and he goes off and says, well, that was a new song by Jeff Canada, you're going to be like, man, that's a good song.
Yep.
Right? And because you have millions of people listening to those stations.
Yep.
But if you're getting played on Papa Joe's tractor show, right, on either a small market FM station, or if you're getting played or like a internet radio station, does that really affect your fan base? And that's the thing. You might make 1 or 2. I'm not saying it doesn't affect your fan base at all, but it's not going to blow you up like it would if you're being played on the Bull. Okay.
Right.
So that's when it comes, that's why it's $50,000 to push a song to national radio versus $5,000 to push it to Texas radio.
50 seems fucking cheap to me.
Well, it probably is. I'm pulling that number smooth out of my ass. I've never looked into it. So that's the deal. I mean, and I notice it, bro. I mean, I can name off 5. I won't do it because again, a lot of these people, I love these people. I can name 5, 6, 7 artists that are constantly getting #1s in Texas that can't sell 10 tickets at any show ever.
Yeah.
Maybe their hometown. Like that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so. And that's fine. Listen, if that's what you want to do, if you seeing your name in those like 6 consecutive #1, if that gets your jollies off, then cool. But I'm telling you, that's not going to equal asses and seats. But if you take a music video and you make a killer music video and you promote it and it blows up and it gets whatever views on it, you're probably going to get asses and seats.
They don't even have to be killer music videos. You can fucking take a tripod and sit in the middle of a fucking thicket with an acoustic guitar.
There's that too.
And
yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
That seems to be a really good recipe these days. People are like eating that one up.
I don't know, man. I think
I'm not a fan of it either. I say we go back to fucking pickup truck videos.
Well, I did a Facebook post about that today. It's really funny to me because the way I look at it, there can only be one, right? There's only ever going to be one Willie Nelson.
Yep.
There's only going to ever be one George Strait.
Yep.
There's only going to ever be one Zakk Bryan, one Oliver Anthony. We'll just use him since he's new. There can only be one of those cats. But what happens is one of those cats will blow the fuck up, and then next thing you know, you got a million copycats.
Yeah.
And they just copy it, and they think that that's going to get them somewhere, and it's just not. It's not going to get you anywhere. You're a copycat.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at all the bands that get to that huge level, they're not doing it the way everybody else did it. They did it their own way. Co Wetzel did his own thing. Cody Johnson did his own thing.
Fucking Co Wetzel's his own genre, bro. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's
Well, he's the Limp Bizkit of country music. But yeah,
you think?
I mean, that's the way I look at it. I love Co Wetzel.
Yeah. So do I.
But I also love Limp Bizkit. So
But I like Co too because he's like Co. It's like the Co show, right? Like that fucking dude's wild, and I know I'm gonna be entertained, whether it's just concert footage or it's some fucking bullshit in the fucking with the fellas in the band on the tour bus. Like, I'm always entertained by that guy.
yeah.
And he's a polarizing individual, and I love polarizing people. I like fucking people who are fucking out there.
Me too.
But I feel like he's kind of created his own genre.
No, for sure.
Because what is he? Is he country? He used to be. Is he rock and roll? Fuck yeah. Dude, you seen the fucking pyro in that guy's show? That's rock and roll shit.
I call it Piney Woods rock and roll. That's what I call it.
It's cool, man. I'm calling it. There's a lot of shit I'm starting to call rural rock and roll, dude. Like, fucking South Hall. Like, they're from Oklahoma, but they play to a country audience, though. The fucking people that go to their shows are in fucking cowboy boots and cowboy hats, right? But they're not playing country music.
Yeah, but they're singing country stuff.
Kind of ish. They're singing about, like, South Hall, for example, is very blue collar, right? They're from Oklahoma. They're hardworking guys.
Love those dudes.
They're fucking amazing. One of my favorites right now.
When did they switch to South Hall? Because it was Reed South Hall.
Right. Recently. That was a recent thing.
I think that was a good move on his part.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. Because I never knew if it was Red South Hall.
Yeah. I saw him actually play with Co.
Jeff's not laughing at my fucking joke.
I'm laughing on the inside, bro. I don't laugh much.
I've been waiting to do that one for a while.
I'm kind of grumpy. Yeah, Red
Texas
South Hall.
Radio. He's sitting here looking at me, and I'm the face of Texas radio tonight, and he's fucking hating it.
I'm not hating you, bro. I love you. I think you're awesome.
Sometimes though, I will say this, bro. Let me there are problems in the system, okay, but a guy like me who I genuinely love music, I genuinely love the artists for the most part that I play. Sometimes it doesn't happen in a timely manner. Like, let me give you an example. When I started at KSTAR, what did I tell you? I said, when I do my new Texas show, I want fucking Back to Texas to be the first song I play, right?
Yeah.
When I started that Texas show, it didn't go exactly as I thought it was going to, right? And it's taken several months to get it to where it is.
Yeah.
And it sucks because I did want to play that song, right? And I still want to play it, and I'm still, going to try to get it in. But that's another thing that's also sometimes a little frustrating for me is it is a process sometimes, all right? For different various reasons, various variables, sometimes it can happen like that. Sometimes it might take weeks, may not happen, right away, whatever. But it's like sometimes for me, the frustrating part is artists, I feel like sometimes move on to the next fucking thing so fast. For me, it's like there's this guy that I follow. His name's Houston. Okay. And he's like fucking Teddy Swims and Jelly Roll. Okay. I don't know what else to describe him as. He's a white guy with face tattoos that kind of sings fucking like strip club music. I don't fucking know what it is. Okay. But he's fucking dope. But the dude every fucking 2 weeks, bro. Every 10 days, it's like a new fucking push on a new song. And I'm not an artist, so I don't know what the fucking thought process is on that. But for me, it's almost like overwhelming. Bro, I'm still fucking with the one song, you know?
But that's because radio. That's because you're radio. That's because you're radio, and y'all, you know, it's not a knock. Y'all are kind of moving at a snail's pace when it comes to music, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Whereas Spotify, for example, in order to get those algorithms hopping, you got to release music.
Yeah.
And it's a what have you, and for fans, what have you done for me lately? I mean, if you release a song and it goes fucking viral and you don't have another one backing up pretty quick, you're starting over in today's fast-paced world, right? And I'm a little frustrated right now because obviously playing live is my favorite thing on the planet. I love to play live. That's my happy place. That's the reason I'm alive. It's my number one driving factor in most things. I love to play live music. But also I love to write and release music. I love it. And I have 6 or 8 songs just sitting on the fucking shelf, just sitting there that I haven't released. Because if you release an album right now, right, you do a whole record, nobody listens to it. Like I released my live album, and I don't even think a single song on that live album yet has gotten over 1,000 spins on Spotify. But if I release a single, it's 2, 3, 4, 5,000 spins in the first 24 hours or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's like, so you release a single and then whatever. So I have this song, I'm Here, that I'm releasing in 6 weeks. And I wanted to release this song forever. I've had it just sitting there, and I released Seasons, and that did its thing. But so I guess there's just a huge difference between releasing it to a video on YouTube or a TikTok video or releasing it to Spotify or doing a radio promo. But that goes back to what you said. Not every song's a radio song. I release all kinds of stuff that aren't a radio song.
Yeah.
Or that's not. So if, it's, to me, a guy like that is probably not doing radio.
See, a lot of people will say that fucking radio doesn't play music that I know, or they play the same shit over and over and over and over again. Well, that's because you know it, and that's why you hear Morgan Wallen.
Yeah.
At any given moment, you go into your fucking truck, you're gonna hear it on the way to the store. If you don't, you're gonna hear it on the way back.
For
right?
sure. Yeah.
Like,
dude, look at the buzz. Like,
last time I listened to the buzz, no offense to anybody over there, but last time I listened to it, they were playing Guns N' Roses, and I fucking couldn't stop laughing.
Dude, I bet that I listened to it one time just because I kind of wanted to hear what the new rock stuff is going on, and they still played Cumbersome like every
fucking 783, dude.
but they played it like literally every 25 songs or 30 songs.
Yeah,
like,
I really don't. I listened
weird.
that one time and they played Guns N' Roses, and it was fucking weird to me. And I also just
like playing Bon Jovi on a classic rock station.
Kind of fucking. I listen to a classic rock station here in Houston too, and they play shit that I wouldn't really consider classic rock. It's almost like too old, like from like English bands and shit too, like
the Beatles,
but more weird fucking shit. Like it just when I think classic rock, I want to hear fucking Zeppelin, Hendrix, fucking classic rock, Stevie Ray Vaughan, fucking shit
Rolling
like that.
Stones.
ZZ Top, Rolling Stones, fucking. I don't know. And I don't know what I was expecting to get from the buzz. Honestly, it was about that time that Jelly Roll had. I keep saying Jelly Roll.
I love Jelly Roll, dude.
He's great, man. He's a really cool guy.
I like it because he's just fucking real.
He is.
That's what Let's talk about Luke Bryan for a second.
Okay.
Just for a second.
All right.
Luke Bryan, first of all, he's real country. Like I know his stuff's more poppy, but like as a man, he's country. Like he fishes and hunts and does all that stuff.
Yeah.
He was on a season of The Celebrity Apprentice before he blew up. Okay. And it was when Bret Michaels was going against Piers Morgan, I think. I think that's who it was. And the finale was they had to take an artist and make them over and put on a show, right? That was the challenge. And Bret Michaels got Luke Bryan. And this is before Luke Bryan was anything. And Bret Michaels comes in and says, hey, you know, I want to fucking put a little necklace on you. I want to put maybe a leather wristband. I want to do this and maybe turn your hat. Like what, I can't remember exactly, but he was trying to get him to do certain things. And Luke Bryan was like, nope, I'm not doing it. I'm a country boy. I'm going to wear my hat. I'm going to wear jeans and a t-shirt and cowboy boots, and I'm not putting all that shit on. He wouldn't do anything. So Bret Michaels is like hamstrung, right? So he obviously loses. But then fast forward 5 years or whatever, you see Luke Bryan doing all of the shit that Bret Michaels told him to do. Now, let me be really real about this. If someone was to come to me tomorrow and say, we're going to give you $10 million and you have to wear skinny jeans on stage, my ass would be wearing fucking skinny jeans on stage. As real as I am, I would be doing it.
Hell yeah.
I'm sure that after about 4 or 5 years of doing that and my $10 million was paid off, I would fucking start making a lot of jokes about it. So money talks, right? Money definitely talks, and what you're willing to do talks. And I don't think that makes me a bad person or anything. I just, we just are what we are. I'm glad that I'm an independent artist. I'm glad I can do what I want to do. But if someone was to come to offer you that kind of money, like right now, I don't want to sing any outside songs, right? I don't want to cut any songs. I don't want to go to any Nashville songwrites and sit down, and I don't want to do that. I write enough music. I want to release what I write.
Yeah.
And I'm not knocking anybody else that does anything. But if someone's come up and say, hey, we're going to give you $10 million to do this record, and you have to do this song, I'd sing those fucking songs.
Fuck yeah.
And then I would take that money and invest it and do all the right things with it, and then do what I want to do.
As I would go to work for a Taylor Swift station if someone
Right.
fucking said that.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
And I'd be decked out in Taylor Swift shit.
But it's just funny. It's funny because nobody knows. Very few people know about that episode of Celebrity Apprentice.
Was Trump on that?
Yeah, he was. And I was mad, dude. I was watching. I was like, look at this motherfucker. I was cussing Luke Bryan. I was like, this motherfucker going to come on this show, and I could tell you what worked. I mean, obviously the Luke Bryan thing worked because I couldn't even tell you who the other artist was.
Right.
I don't even know who they were. So it's just funny what we'll do, what we will do, and what we won't do for money or popularity.
Do for money.
Me, I don't care about the popularity part. Like I care about asses and seats for sure, but I don't care about being like, I'm not as driven as I am in my life. I'm not trying to be the next Cody Johnson, right? I'm not trying to get that. That's not what I'm trying to do. If it happens, it happens. What I'm trying to do is what my goal is to roll into any city in Texas to be able to sell 100 tickets. If I could do that, I've fucking made it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm also 44. I'm not some young spring chicken. I'm not.
But I don't think that really means anything in country music, bro.
I mean, name 5 artists that have come out in the last 5 years that are older.
Oh, fuck. I don't know.
Because everybody always brings up like Merle Haggard or Chris Stapleton. Because Chris Stapleton was older whenever, but he was already successful as a songwriter before that. But
yeah.
But again, I don't care. That's not what it's about, right? It's just not what it's about for me. It's about for me going out, meeting real folks, hanging out with real people, having a fucking good time, selling tickets to shows. That's what it's about for me. And I don't know. I don't know that I could function in a world being as famous as Taylor Swift.
I would not want to be. I mean, she's clearly not the same person. I understand she grew up and all that shit, but I just feel like we're not getting. Do it. I don't know. She's a machine, dude. That's when I see her, I see the machine, dude. Everything she does is for a reason, right? Everything in her fucking day, bro.
Yeah.
There's a reason and a rhyme to it, and somebody fucking checking it off the list, right? Like,
yeah. No, I would agree with you 100%. I mean, because
I used to want to fucking be famous, bro. I used to want to be Howard Stern. When I was working at the Buzz, bro, I had such fucking egomania, dude. I thought I was fucking Howard Stern. When I worked at Rock 101, that's all I fucking cared about. It was really debauchery back at Rock 101. It was tits and ass and fucking
hell yeah. We need that
sex,
back.
drugs,
Can we bring that shit back?
roll.
God, we need to bring that back. That's what I like about Co Wetzel is the sex, drug, and rock and roll part that he's been able to bring back into the
Yeah, I still fucking kind of like that shit. You know, that's like I said, I like polarizing shit, right? But
I don't think he would have. I don't think Ko Wetzel would have blown up pre-Trump era. And a lot of people, and
I
a lot
guess
of
that was
and a lot of people don't see the correlation, but it's like it's really funny because pre-Trump, country music fans, for the most part, were conservative, right?
yeah.
And they were, Christian and Lord and Savior and that sort of stuff. Which I'm not knocking any of that, but then Trump comes out and obviously because he's going against the devil, Hillary Clinton, and then all of a sudden, all of these conservatives started embracing this guy that is brash and says what he wants to say, and says things like grab her by the pussy and like loses no votes for it. You know what I mean? And it, to me, that kind of changed. It kind of said, okay, country boys, you're allowed to be more loose and more free now. You ain't got to be so starched. You know what I mean? And then to me, that's about the same time you started seeing people like Ko Wetzel
But outlaw shit's always been there, bro.
Yeah, but there's a difference between outlaw shit and straight out, like I mean, did Merle Haggard ever use the word fuck in one of his songs? I don't. I maybe, I don't know, but I don't think he did.
Well, have you ever heard David Allan Coe?
Oh, don't even start on David Allan Coe. Oh, for sure. That's man. I go back and listen to some of that stuff.
Which is who Ko Wetzel was named after, by the way.
Oh, really?
For real.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I love me some David Allan Coe. I'm not saying there wasn't that sect of country music. I'm just saying I think that Trump.
I could see what you're saying though, and how.
That's what I think. I could be wrong, but
it's interesting. I've never thought of that, but kind of makes sense.
But I do think that he's going to have to change what he's doing at some point because, like the Limp Bizkit effect, Limp Bizkit, in the '99 was one of the biggest bands on the fucking planet. But the problem is a lot. But hang on. But a lot of their fans got older and had kids.
That's what you're talking
and got houses and got jobs and became functional people, and they don't listen to that shit anymore.
But also, for me, Limp Bizkit was a sound that lasted for a very short amount of time. It was fucking hot. It was rocking that new metal fucking shit, and I don't think it stood the test of time.
Yeah, and we'll have to see if Coase does. I think he's going to have to change and go. I think he's going to have to do some music for eventually. I'm not saying right now, but eventually he's going to have to start doing some more adult contemporary stuff if he wants to continue to.
I think he did that back in the day, though, right?
No, he did. Yeah, for sure. Co-eds on the convict stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen,
I would consider that country music. What
for sure.
His last record, the one with Cabo on it and all that shit, that's... I don't know what the fuck that is. That's Ko Wetzel.
It's badass is what it is.
Yeah, it is. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Listen, I love Ko Wetzel. I'm not talking shit at all. I think he's fucking awesome. I would love to hang out with that. Could you imagine me and that motherfucker on a tour? Holy shit. The world would blow up.
I'd love to meet him, bro.
The world would explode if I was on tour with Ko Wetzel.
I think he's cool. I think he's country. I think he respects country music.
Agreed.
I think he's going to leave a legacy, man. And for me, that's what it's about.
I sure hope so. I wish nothing but the best for that guy, because he's original. He is original, and he's real.
There's no other fucking Ko Wetzel, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
I keep hearing people say all the time, like Randall King, right? Randall King, I love Randall King.
I love Randall King, too.
I love him as a person. Like, I don't know if you've ever met him or not, but dude, he is so fucking cool and so down to earth and one of the coolest cats I've ever met. But I keep hearing people say, well, that guy's next door straight. That guy's next door straight. I hear it all the time. And I'm like, there can only be one George Strait, man.
Yeah.
Like, he's the next Randall King. That's the way you got to look at it. And I'm really glad he put out that last EP or whatever with the small town bullshit on it, because it kind of opens up. You know what I mean? It's not so.
I like his honky tonk shit.
I love him, dude.
I'm a big fan of Randall King, and I always make the joke that there are 3 kings in Texas: Bob Wills, George Strait, and Randall.
Nice.
And I'm sure some people don't like that, but fuck it. He's the man. He's really good. Will he be George Strait? I don't know. I don't think there'll ever be another George Strait, but he's fucking Randall King, dude.
Yeah, and I think he's on his way. I think he's on his way just like Cody Johnson. Like right now, Cody Johnson's one of the biggest names in country music, right? And down here in Texas, it's hard for us to grasp because he's been big here for a long time.
Yep.
Like he's been selling, arenas down here for a while now. It's 2017, 2018, something like that. But he just got his first national #1.
Yeah.
And he's up for all these awards now,
That's what I wanted to say to you earlier, too. Like, talking about the #1s and shit. It's like, dude, how big is Jason Aldean? He's fucking, he's a superstar.
Yeah.
That motherfucker just got his first #1, bro, after, 15 fucking years in the game on radio, bro?
Yeah.
I mean, you hear Jason Aldean all the fucking time on country radio all across the world, bro.
Yeah.
And this small town fucking bullshit, try that in a small town. That's his first #1 song, bro.
What did it get it first on the radio or Spotify or Apple Music? See, that's the thing. Like Oliver Anthony, right? He got his first #1 with that song. Obviously, the first song he ever fucking released. Or not first song he released, but first real big song. He got it. It went all the way. It was.
What are your thoughts on that guy?
I love him, dude. I don't think he's an industry plant at all. I know, dude. I know people that have met him. And matter of fact, Brian Sal, the guitar player for Scooter Brown, just played a show with. I can't remember. Played guitar with somebody, and he was on the same bill as Oliver Anthony, and he actually got a few minutes alone with him. And he, from what I understand, he's just a normal dude. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's off the fucking deep end. He's trying to put a team together around him, and I don't think it was an industry plant at all. I think that's where we are as a society, and I think what he did lit a fucking match that was already. Listen, you want to know why I think that? This is why I think that. What's his name? Used to be singer for Stained, or still is a singer for
Aaron
Stained.
Lewis.
So Aaron Lewis released "Am I the Only One?" That song, which is in that same vein as a small town, whatever. And that it got some attention, but it didn't blow up, right? It got some attention in radio, but it didn't go viral. Then you got the Jason Aldean, Try That in a Small Town, and it goes viral. It gets a pretty good thing. But then this Oliver Anthony kid comes out with that song, and it went fucking ham, dog. Like, I'm talking about blew the fuck up. And I think it's just because that's where we are as a society right now. I think America is sick and fucking tired of the bullshit. So you think that reach
was real?
Yes, I really do.
I don't.
Yeah.
Believe it 100%. I'm not saying he's not good. The song's not good. He doesn't deserve to be where he's at. But in order for the fucking numbers to move like that, bro, what we've been talking about this whole conversation has to happen. There's money involved, bro. I don't give a fuck.
But there doesn't have to be, and this is why there doesn't have to be, right? Because this is what happened.
Dude had 55 fucking million views like that.
Right. But no, it wasn't that fast. Because this is why. Because people didn't really start paying attention until it hit TikTok. Okay? No, for real. So
which is owned by who?
No, I know, but hang on. But back up. China. But back up.
Which owns?
Sony, right?
Okay.
I don't know.
You're following.
I couldn't tell you.
You're following.
But so this guy recorded this song, and he was going to go on a radio show on this radio West Virginia or whatever the radio station was. He did not even upload that to Twitter. They uploaded the video to their Twitter account and said, this guy's coming on, blah, 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 blah. And then Twitter started sharing it. And then Joe Rogan shared it on Twitter.
Yeah.
And it went boom on Twitter. Then that's when it started getting uploaded to the other platforms, Facebook, Instagram. And that's when it just fucking blew up because everybody was sharing it. I mean, it was share. And again, I don't think it has anything to do with him. I think it's the fact that you see this dude who's not some model looking dude, right? He's wearing a fucking t-shirt, his beard's all fucking raggedy, needs a haircut. You know what I mean? He's 6'7", just awkward looking as fuck, but he's singing these words that are real, and he's portraying emotionally with his vocals and with his his face, just everything about it. He's like selling the song. And I think that as a society, we are sick and fucking tired of what's going on in this country. I think we're tired of it. And I think we're tired of it on both sides of the equation. I think the middle 80-90% of this country is sick and fucking tired of what's going on with this country. I think they're tired of it, and I think that's what blew up. And the reason is because of how the Jason Aldean blew up. But then this one, because this one's more authentic. Like, I was mad about the Jason Aldean thing, not because
you were mad.
I was not because I don't agree with him. I agree with him totally, but the song was bullshit.
The song sucked.
The song was terrible. But yet, this Oliver Anthony kid comes out with this song, and it's real, right?
I don't think it's a great song, honestly.
Well,
bro.
and that's
I
okay.
don't really. I kind of.
I loved it when I heard it, but that's the kind of music I listen to.
I just haven't. I just never. I didn't see it. I didn't. For me, and maybe I have a shitty taste in music, but I just. I never fucking. I never understood it. I still don't really understand it.
I know a lot of people that think the same way you do. I just, after listening to him on Rogan, and then after...
Who's to say fucking Rogan's not behind that shit? Why the fuck?
I'm not saying he's not. I'm not saying he's not. But I don't think there was money involved in it. I think it just happened. I think Rogan fell in love with it, and that happened. But he was already popping before Rogan. But I think after listening to the guy from Big and Rich, what's his name? The rich dude. After listening to his interview, I saw he was on some interview with somebody, and he was one of the first people that reached out to that kid, and also Jamie Johnson. Jamie Johnson's one of the most real motherfuckers you'll ever meet in your life. After seeing their support of this kid, and like they're really kind of taking him under their wing, and then him making these mistakes, like this mistake he made with that venue, right? I don't know if you remember that, but it was
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Like, he charged them $120,000, but then got pissed off about the tickets, right?
Yeah.
Well, math tells you, bro. Math tells you that you can't sell tickets for $25 and charge somebody $120,000. That doesn't work. And I don't think he'd be making those mistakes had it been a grand scheme. That's my opinion. Just from being in the industry and knowing how the industry works. I could be totally wrong, dude. I could be snowed. You know what I mean? He could be fucking Milli Vanilli. I don't know.
I could be totally wrong.
It could not even be him singing. I don't know. I think that's where we are, but I also think that that's 1 in a million people, bro. Yeah. I think every now and then you'll see someone on a social media thing that blows up and goes viral.
He did it on a fucking historic level, bro.
Yeah. But you got guys like Trey Lewis that wrote or that did Dig Down in Dallas.
2 fucking months ago, we didn't know who Oliver Anthony was.
Yeah.
2 months ago.
Yeah. No clue.
Now he's like the biggest motherfucker.
Yeah.
Besides like Zakk Bryan and fucking.
But he's also making so many mistakes because he just doesn't know. He doesn't. I think that I think this is what it is. I think had it been real, you would already see him with a fucking all-star band. But the motherfucker just posted on social media he's looking for a fiddle player. Right? If this was like if this was a scheme, I mean, it might be like the radio, like the executives like playing a new game to try to trick the American people so they can get more artists to be. So they can get. I'm not saying it's not, but I just feel like after just really paying attention to everything that's going on that it's legit. But that's just because of my experience.
I hope it is legit.
Yeah. Because
he has, for whatever reason, I don't know if inherited is the right word, but he has a bunch of power now.
Yeah.
He's a powerful guy. Whether it's real or not, he has power now, and
I think it's real.
I hope it is because it would suck if that power is from the machine.
Yeah. I would agree, and I think what's really going to be telling is where his career goes over the next year or so. I think if he starts doing a bunch of ads. You know, if you see him selling Rogaine or some shit, I don't know. You know, I think if you start seeing that sort of stuff, I don't know, man. It's going to be really interesting to see how long he can be this authentic guy, and if he's really turning down these huge dollars. And
he might be the real deal, dude. He might be the real deal.
Listen, it's easy to turn down $10 million being offered to you by a by a record label when you're making $40,000 a day on fucking streaming alone. You know what I mean? I mean, that guy's making a fucking killing just on streaming right now. So, and TikTok, and I mean, anything he does on TikTok is going to go viral right now.
It's crazy just to see all the shit. Like, I saw Papa Roach fucking on stage with him one day, like Shine Down or some shit, some crazy shit. Like, this is like,
and it's not people that are part of the big machine. Like, Papa Roach isn't part of that big machine.
no, not anymore.
You know, the Shine Down's not part of the big machine.
But those two bands were definitely part of the machine
at one point,
in one era of fucking rock and roll. For a while there,
Yeah.
it was those two.
I love Papa Roach.
I love both those guys.
Dude, Papa Roach
All
is
of 'em.
probably my favorite live band to go see. They put on such
They're the
a good
fucking
live
shit.
show.
I like Papa Roach.
And
a lot.
Jacoby's such a cool cat. It's funny because I was playing a show. Remember the Sherlock's on Westheimer?
Mm-hmm.
I was playing a show at Sherlock's on Westheimer on like a Tuesday, and I had a Papa Roach shirt on, and I'm playing the show, and this guy comes up and he's like, "Hey, you a fan of Papa Roach?" And I was like, "Yeah, man. I like them a lot live." He goes, "Well, Jacoby's my brother-in-law." And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Because we get shit like that all the time. People come up and they just want a reason to talk to us, and they'll start fucking my cousin's uncle, sister's brother's cousin's a producer, and you know, that kind of stuff. But then he pulled out his phone. He's like, start showing me pictures of like him fishing with him and him doing all kinds of stuff. He goes, "I'll tell you what, man, save my number. Next time they come into town, if you want to go to the show, I'll hook you up." I was like, cool. So I found out they were coming to, this is like 2010, 11, 12, something like that. I found out they're playing at Warehouse Live. And so I texted the guy. I was like, "Hey, I'd really like to go to the show." He goes, "All right, man, just hang on." Dude, 15, 20 minutes later, I get a text message from their tour manager. And they're like, "Hey, we'll be there. How many people you need?" And I was like, "Oh, more than just me?" And they're like, "Yeah, what do you want?" And I was like, "Oh, just me and a friend." And they're like, "Okay, cool. Meet me at this point, whatever." I was like, "All right, cool." So Tim Del Toro, remember Tim Del Toro from False Guy, the band False Guy, the cover band False Guy? Or Paris Green. Remember Paris Green?
Yeah,
He was a guitar player for Paris Green. So I called Tim up because I knew he was a fan. I was like, "Hey, you want to go to this show?" He's like, "Fuck yeah." So we go down there, meet the tour manager. She brings us in. We got to hang out with the band. They gave us like merch. They gave us basically the same package that everybody buys to do like VIP deal. But we got to hang out with them and shoot the shit and just have a great time, dude. And it made me even love the band even more, bro. Like and that's one of my big things that irks me to being on the road and stuff, or the bands that are really friendly with other bands and are really friendly with their fans and not so standoffish and not so does that make sense?
It irks you?
It irks me when bands aren't like that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
You know,
man. I
like,
mean,
like you play a festival, like William Clark Green, for example. You know, the first time I opened up for him, I don't think I met him that night because I'm not a big like go chase them down and meet them kind of guy.
Yeah.
But the next time I opened up for him, we met in the green room just like in passing. And ever since then, it's been awesome. And I just watched the way he is with his fans, or like Shane Smith, the way he is with his fans, Randall King, the way he is with his fans.
Yeah.
Like I see these Kevin Fowler. Like Kevin Fowler's one of the nicest people you ever meet in your life. I make a joke all the time. I bet if I asked Kevin Fowler to shave my back, he would. You know what I mean? He's that nice dude. But then you have other cats that are just like, they stay on their bus. They never get off their bus. They come on, they play their show. They may go to the merch booth and sign some tickets or some merch. They may not. And then they go, and that's it. There's no like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's always, I won't mention who it was, but I was a fan of this artist. I still am a fan of this artist, but I was really excited recently to get to see this artist and a couple other artists that were also playing on the same show. And I asked all the artists that were on this bill if they would like to be on my podcast. And Two of them agreed right off the rip, but the one that I was most excited about, even though we've actually worked together before, but we haven't met. And this person also shares a shitload of my stuff on social media every time I talk about this artist. Completely ignored my message about coming on the pod. And, you know, I get people are busy and shit like that, but just tell me no. You know, just say
Right.
no.
Yeah.
Say, I don't want to do it. I can't do it, whatever. And when I met this person, it was like, fuck, dude, I wanted to meet them for so long, right? And like I said, we had worked together before when I was actually at a different radio station, but I was at the station and they were out at an event, but we got to communicate. And I had just always been a fan since then. And when I met them, it was a fucking bummer, you know, because I don't know what the deal was. Not that they had like an ego problem, which is what you deal with a lot of the times.
Yeah.
But I think it was more of maybe I don't know, some sort of anxiety on their part, maybe a little bit. It just wasn't the person that I thought that they were from what I've seen on social media. You know what I mean? It was kind of a bummer to me, honestly, you know, and
playing the devil's advocate.
yeah.
You know, like Randall King, for example, right? The first time I saw him, it was at a acoustic show. It was just him acoustic. It was during COVID. He played at Main Street Crossing, and I got asked, and I didn't really know who it was, and I got asked to go to a show, and I was like, yeah, I'll go. So I went, and I was watching him play, and he was super good, man. I was like, man, this guy's really good. But then, and there was only like maybe 50 people in this venue because it was very limited on seating and all that stuff. And then that was it. He walked off. He walked out of the stage, left, disappeared. Nobody ever saw him, never said hi to anybody, never signed merch, never did anything, right? Nothing. And I was like, man, and this is very, very early in my original career. And I was like, what a fucking dick. Like, that's kind of douchey, you know? And so, but then, you know, fast forward to a while later, and I got to open up for him, and we chit-chatted that night. And then in Steamboat, I ran into him up at Steamboat, and he remembered us playing together, and we had a great time. And then the next show, he immediately remembered who it was, gave a hug, and it's one of those things. And I see the way he acts with his fans and everything, and, you know, it like the reason, like that was weak. The reason he was that way is that was weeks after his sister passed away. You know what I mean? And I didn't know that. His fans didn't know that. The people that were at the show didn't know that.
Right.
So it's like, is he having a bad day?
Yeah.
Is it
and
what?
People are
But
entitled to bad days.
I can flip flop that on the other thing, and I won't say this guy's artist. Anybody who's like a hardcore fan of me or knows who this guy is. I got asked to open up for like legit one of my heroes, like one of my Texas heroes. I played a show with him, and it was a decent night. And I went up to him afterwards, and I went to shake his hand. And I was like, hey, man, thanks for letting me open up for you. And he, like, looked at me and was like, meh. And walked off. Like, as the opener. And I'm like, fuck you, bro. Like, who the fuck do you think you are, man? Like, come on, dog. We're on the same team, man. I just warmed up this crowd and got them ready for you. Like,
damn.
Like, and I, you know, and I held that grudge for a long time, man. And it just pissed me off. And now I don't even like his music. Now his music comes on, I change the channel, and I just like, fuck him.
Do I know who this person is?
Oh yeah, I'll tell you later. I mean, like I said, everybody else, you'll immediately, once I tell you who it is, you're like,
oh yeah, bummed out.
No, you'll be like, yeah, I hear that all the time. Oh. Because now that it's happened, it's like it's kind of a well-known thing, and it's okay, you know, if that's the way he wants to be, that's fine. I've moved past it. I have another artist right now that's my mortal enemy, and I usually have to have one grudge going at all times.
I guess the way that I kind of just look at it, like this person I'm talking about, it was kind of a little bit different because I also, I don't want to say, but I also helped sponsor the event.
Yeah.
Okay. And the person I'm talking about knew that.
Yeah.
I was upfront about it, right? And told him that in my message when I asked him to be on the podcast. And to me, that was kind of like shitty. But who knows? That person, like, you never know what the fuck's going on in their world.
Yeah.
You know?
But people get weird, man, about messages. I try to answer.
What do you mean people get weird about messages?
Like, fans get weird when you don't reply or you don't.
Well, I get
know?
pissed off when anybody sees, I can say, it says seen,
Right.
and you don't fucking say one thing or another. I would.
But was it him that saw it?
See, you never know.
Right. Was it one of his members of his team that did like
Right.
that? That's happened to me before, right? Where Candace had opened a message or one
I
of
hear you.
or member of my team.
And I thought about all that shit too.
Yeah.
You know, I thought about all that.
Have you
shit.
shot a second message to be like?
I did shoot a second message to that person the day of the show because I had obviously hit them up a week in advance, asking them, like, trying to coordinate it and shit. But the other thing was they were reposting my shit
Right. Yeah.
in between these messages, so I know you fucking somebody saw them.
Yeah.
And even if it was like the manager or the social media person, like, hey, when you see shit from an industry person, tell me about it, right? Like,
Yeah.
or is there an automatic fucking response on the clipboard or some shit, right?
Yeah.
Nothing, But when I promoted the show, you fucking were reposting it yourself. You know what I mean? Like,
I'll give you one. So I started those artist spotlight things.
Yeah.
Right. You've seen them.
Yeah.
I've since kind of stopped because I'm trying to revamp the way I do it so they'll get more views. One thing, the reason I started that was kind of a selfish thing is because I wanted to balance the negativity. You know what I mean? I wanted to balance me railing on stuff like radio or whatever with something positive. But also because I really feel like the people that I do these about, I want to shed some light on these folks.
sure.
Do you know, I kept the stats, and I don't know if this is exactly right because it's been about a month since I've looked at them. I did 63 artist spotlights, 63 in 2 months. Do you know only 7 artists shared them?
Huh.
Do you know only 14 artists commented on them? And only 22 artists liked it.
Huh.
So
Is that because they didn't see it? I mean, that's weird, huh?
I don't know, man. It's just very weird. Is it they didn't see it, or is it that they don't want to be associated with me, which is fine?
It's so
because
fucked
of,
up how all these things go through.
right.
our
Like
head,
you could
right?
have. Is it just because they're so conceited that they just think that that's just part of the deal? Like what? I don't know.
Maybe it's because they don't know that they should. You never fucking know.
Come on, man. If
I get it, but some people are fucking tards when it comes to that shit.
like I
dude.
share everything that somebody does about me. Everything.
Bro, when it's my fucking tribe, dude, and my people, if they post something, I like that shit. I comment, dude.
Yeah, me too.
And there are times when I go through social media and I just fucking like shit, dude.
Me too.
If I'm following you, I don't even fucking read what you're saying or
Yeah, I do the
look at
same
your
thing.
picture. I just fucking
heart and
heart that
shit.
shit, dude.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
You know, because this is my people.
Yeah. And not only that, I also comment a lot on other people's posts because that boosts the post. It boosts, and then you have no idea. And what's really cool, a lot of people may not know this, a lot of artists, this may be a little snippet. If you post something and I come on and I comment on your post, any of your followers that are not following me that like that post, I can then invite them to like my page.
Yeah.
That's how I've grown my social media because I'll go on and I'll make a comment on an Aaron Watson post or an Adam Hood post or, some of my heroes, like those guys, like people I really like. And I'll comment on it. And then next thing you know, for some reason, 10, 15, 20, 25 people like my comment. That's 10, 15, 25 people I can invite to like my stuff
Yeah.
immediately, just like that. And so I try to comment on as many things as I can. I don't surf a lot, so it's got to be within the first 10 or 15 posts when I open up in order for me to see it. But yeah, I don't know, and I'm not mad about that. I'm not bitter about it. I'm going to continue doing it regardless of whether they share it or not. I just thought it was funny to keep those numbers and like really look at who's doing what. you know. And I get it if they're a bigger artist. Like I did one on Jason Eady, right? And I obviously don't expect Jason Eady to follow me back. I don't expect him to share it, or I mean, he gets probably he gets tagged in, 50 things a day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then you got guys like Adam Hood that I made one comment on his page one day. He made a comment back, and then I liked it, and then next thing you know, like a couple days later, I did it again, and then he liked my page.
Yeah.
He followed me back. And I'm like, fuck, Adam Hood just like to me.
Yeah,
that's
it's
like
always
a
cool when
Yeah.
when when it's your fucking heroes or you're trying to show somebody love and
Yeah.
they do acknowledge it,
But like, or Shane Smith, the first time I opened up for him, I was direct support for him 3 times, and he followed me back. He followed me like as soon as they announced that I was his opener, he followed me back.
Man, he didn't follow me, but I gave away some tickets when they were in town this last time. And
Well, now he probably doesn't do it.
He liked my post though.
Yeah.
Or at least their account.
Yeah, he just
did.
shared my story I did about it.
And I was like, man, that's fucking cool.
It's so cool.
It like makes my day and shit.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's like getting flirted. It's like being flirted with.
Yeah.
Like being flirted with it's flattering.
or somebody telling you good job or fucking
Yeah.
thank you for what you're doing. I
Yeah,
appreciate
just a
you.
little bit of just a little bit. That's all you need. Yeah.
Yeah.
Show a little appreciation for your fans.
Yeah.
And that's really what I'm talking about is just being gracious and being thankful for.
But see, back to my thing, dude. And I wanted to, I wanted to say this. I wanted to say this. Like, I was a sponsor of this show that had this artist.
Yeah.
In turn, I wanted them to come on my podcast,
Right.
which they may look at coming on the podcast like I'm doing him a favor. I have more fucking followers than his podcast. I don't need to be on his fucking podcast, whatever. Cool.
Right.
But I paid part of what you're making tonight. I paid for it.
Right.
When I come up to talk to you and introduce myself to you, at least fake it for fucking 60 seconds that you give a
Right.
shit about what I'm saying.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Even if you don't. If your head's hurting, if you fucking if you're hungover, if you're sick,
Or just say something like, man, dude, I really want to talk to you right now.
Yeah.
But I'm fucking, like, I just got done playing. I'm fucking zapped. I got to hit the hay. Like,
yeah.
like, say something.
Yeah.
Say, like, I get it. Sometimes you're sick. Sometimes you don't feel like being there. What happens to me a lot of times is I get to these festivals and I'll get there early and I'll be there the whole day just hanging out, people talking. And by the time I hit the stage, my voice is already shot.
Right.
And then after the show, like, I don't have anything left to give anybody.
Yeah.
But I'm also one of those guys that loves that part of my job. I love meeting people.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of introverts in this business too. And,
There is.
And so if you're an introvert, I understand.
But it's also a weird fucking business to be in if you're an introvert. Like,
Yeah.
you should fucking know. Like, it's like fucking being like, well, I don't like guns, but I'm going to be a cop.
Yeah. But a lot of these guys are also in recovery and, and they don't want to.
I get that too.
Be
I
offered-
can, and I totally understand and respect that shit. I mean, Harley, for example, the guy that I do my podcast with, you obviously know Harley very well.
Love
like,
Harley.
we were doing a fucking podcast downtown at a spot that we had never done a podcast at before. I fucking loved the place. I was having a great fucking time. I'm having a few beers. Harley's like, bro, I got to get out of here, dude. This used to be a bad part of town for me. You know what I mean? I did a lot of fucking bad shit over here. This is bringing back like a lot of fucking bad thoughts and shit. I got to fucking bail, you know? But at least he was upfront and
Right.
told us what was going on and just wasn't like fucking weird about it and bouncing, you know?
No, I get it, dude. Listen, if there's anybody who understands your frustration with that, it's me, because I call them out on a regular basis when I see.
And I
that
also
shit
feel like it's like you're this is your fucking job, right? Like when I'm on the radio, very rarely will you hear me complain or be negative. I might talk a little shit, like if there's a punchline there, if they
Right.
can be funny. But I'm not gonna fucking be negative, right?
Yeah.
Or talk a bunch of shit all the time because I know that most people want to hear me in a good mood, right? And want to be in a good mood. And when I have that microphone turned on, my job is to be fun for those 10 fucking seconds in between the two songs, you know? And I feel like as an artist or a comedian or whatever the art form may be, like, you know, when you're at the club, dude, and there's fans around, you know, that's part of the gig, dude. Is just to meet those fucking fans. Now, you don't have to,
No.
but you're not going to get the residuals that you would if you did, right?
Dude, I have fans that will literally drive 2-3 hours to come see me play.
It's fucking huge,
Do you
dude.
think that they would do that if I was one of these artists? And this same artist that, not the same artist that I was, the other story, but the same artist that I was discussing that is like my arch nemesis or whatever. Like these artists that are on their bus, they roll into the venue, they never get off their bus, they don't go in, they don't say hi to the staff, even before doors, they don't go say hi to the staff, they don't do anything, they stay on their bus, their band sets up all their shit.
Yeah.
And I'm not even talking about, listen, if you're fucking Garth Brooks or Gary Allen or one of these guys, and one of these guys that are on that crazy level, and it's a security thing, or it's a, if I get off this bus, I'm going to be fucking pounced. That I understand. But when you're on my level, right, or even a little bit bigger, like if you're on like who's somebody that's kind of on like the next, like a Tanner Usray level, right? By the way, I fucking love Tanner Usray.
Yeah, he's good.
God, I love that kid. Like if you're on that level, right? If there's no reason for you to act like that. There's no reason for you to be on your bus, not going to the venue, go in, play your show, get down, maybe sign a little bit of merch, and then go back to your bus and bolt. Like, there's no reason for that. It's just not cool. It's just not fucking cool. And even a bigger one, bro, is someone that opens the show that as soon as they get done, they fucking bolt.
Yeah.
That pisses me off more than you could possibly know.
Yeah.
Now, listen, if there's some reason why you have to, like, let's say that you have to be in another state tomorrow, right?
Right.
Or your kid's at home sick and you got to get home, a million different reasons, then tell me. Like, say something to somebody and let somebody know. But we had an instance with a band. We hired them for a show, or the venue did. And I was super stoked about them being on the bill. And they came in, over 750 people are at this venue that are there to see me, right? And they're opening up. They're a bigger band than I am, but they were still the opener. They showed up, they played the show, they listened to maybe one song, and then they fucking split. And then they didn't even use the hotel rooms that the venue bought for them because they wanted to get out of there so fucking fast. No reason why. It was a Saturday night. There's no reason why to rush. Like, and that's happened multiple times, bro. And like me, like I told you earlier, if there's a festival, I'm the first one there, last one to leave. I'm hanging out with fucking everybody. But that might be why I'm selling tickets at venues and these other artists aren't. You know what I mean?
You never can know. And you know what's fucked, man, is you can't hold other people to
my standards.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's one of my flaws.
You're gonna
for
do
sure.
shit. You're gonna do shit the way you do it because it feels right to you, and that's
that'll
just
probably
what
piss
it
some people
is.
off too. Yeah.
And it's like other people. I mean, sometimes other people disappoint, man. You know?
Yeah, for sure. I've definitely gotten a lot better about that. I don't have the expectations that I once had, even for shows. Like I kind of expect every show to be a shitty show now.
I don't really expect anything now, dude.
I just expect it to suck because.
But I will say this: when I don't want to do something, like there's a show, there are sometimes that I don't want to go to a show, but I'll tell myself, this could be the best show that you've ever gone to, right? I know you don't want to go, but it might be the coolest shit that ever. And who knows who the fuck you're gonna meet there?
Yeah.
Who knows what's gonna happen if you don't show up, right? Like so.
Yeah, same with me. So Charlie, Charlie Diggs, he was managing me for a while, and he called me up and he's like, "Hey, we're doing this Lake Fest with Scooter Brown's Lake Fest. This was 2021. We're doing Scooter Brown Band's Lake Fest, and Jason Cassidy was on the bill. Me, Trent Cowie, I can't remember who all was on the bill. He's like, "Hey, I want you to open it up acoustic," and I said, "Okay, cool." And then, I don't know, 2 weeks before the show or 3 weeks before the show, I texted him, "Hey, can I bring Philip?" He was like, "Yeah, dude, that'd be cool." Well, he thought I meant Philip Griffin. I meant Philip, my guitar player. Okay. So now, next thing you know, he books 2 other artists. So now I'm on a 4-man song swap for an hour Well, I don't know if you know how 4-man song swaps go.
Yeah, one song.
You get 3 songs top, maybe, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, fuck, dude. And I almost pulled out. I almost told him, hey, I don't want to do it. I'm like this close. Well, that day I go out there and I'm sure you've seen pictures around. I wore a crop top.
Yes.
And I'm out there and I just had a great time, dude. Well, that show is when me and Scott Brown became friends. Since that show happened, since then, I've gotten to fucking see parts of the country that I've never been able to see because Scott asked me to go play a show in Delaware with him.
Yeah.
I did that. I got to meet Randy fucking Travis and not just meet him, like literally be in the same room with him for 3 hours, dude.
Yeah.
None of that would have happened.
Scott's always fucking hanging out with Randy Travis.
Yeah, dude. But none of that would ever happen had I said no to that show.
Right.
So I try to say yes to everything, and I also just have low expectations because what happens is no matter what, I end up having a great show.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck
And
yeah.
I've also noticed that sometimes when I set expectations, that I'm just setting myself up for disappointment.
100%.
You know? If I go in with nothing and it turns to shit, it's like, that sucked, but we'll do it again, right?
Yeah.
If I go and it's fucking awesome, it's like, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
Yeah, I'm the same way, man. I think you and I are a lot alike, I think.
I think so, man.
Yeah.
I definitely think so too.
I think you're cuter.
I know I'm fucking cuter.
I think I'm funnier. I think that
He's definitely funny. When you were talking about that fucking handshake, when the old dude didn't shake your hand earlier, I immediately was like, I almost said, you got to fucking roll the clip from our podcast when you went to fucking give me daps.
oh yes, dude, that was so good. And I hit myself. Dude,
And your fucking eyes, dude, your reaction.
It was so funny.
And I had
dude.
no idea, bro. I was like fucking deaf at the time. I had like this big sinus ear infection and shit. So I had no idea what was going on. And I totally looks like I was fucking dissing Jeff by not fucking.
No, it was but shit like that's magic to me, and I don't ever take offense to that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also because I know
No, it's
you,
completely different.
but
It made me think of that.
it's because here's the deal, man. I will not shake someone's hand that I don't respect. I just
Really?
won't. It's one of my things. You know, I was taught that if you shake a man's hand, you stand up. You look them in the eye and you shake their hand, but also it's a sign of respect. And I'm not talking about somebody I just meet, right? Like if I just meet you, obviously I'm going to shake your hand because I don't know. But if it gets to the point where I don't like you for whatever reason that is, I'm not going to shake your hand. I'm just not. Like, and it's gotten me in trouble a few times. You know, I got sucker punched at Flying Pug one night because the cocksucking owner of Stadium, Kenny, whatever the fuck that dipshit, he come up to shake my hand at Pug, and I don't like the guy, and I was like, no, I'm good. And I walked off, and then he comes over and he fucking like from behind like sucker punches me because I didn't shake his hand. But that dude, just where I come from, I'm not going to shake your hand if I don't respect you. Period. End of sentence.
Damn.
I'm just not. And so, and it's just funny that like, see, some names I will definitely call out on this podcast. I don't give a fuck.
I mean, it's definitely a fuck you if you
Yeah.
don't shake someone's hand.
Yeah, and it's happened a few times. And there's a few. I mean, the one artist I can't stand. I mean, I've somewhere and he fucking held his hand out for me to shake, and I'm like, I just fucking walked off, dude. I can't do it, and that can make me an asshole if you want to, but I'm just not fake, dude. I'm just not fake.
Yeah.
Now, if I love you and we have respect, I'll shake your hand. I'll fucking hug you. I'll stick my finger up your butt. Like what? Like we're.
That's really why I came.
Is it? Well, that's why you're gonna come.
Yeah.
I think is the more appropriate response to that.
Fuck yeah.
But dude, I can talk to you all fucking day.
I'm
long,
down to talk
bro.
for as long as you want. I just have to take a piss.
So if you want to end it, we can end it.
You tell me.
If you want to go take a piss, go take a piss, and then we can come back and start talking more shit. It's been 2 hours and 22 minutes. So
I fucking feel like I'm sitting on the Joe Rogan show, dude.
yeah, every one of them's been long, man. I'm a long-winded motherfucker, dude.
I love talking to you, bro.
Yeah.
If I can get a piss in, I'm good to keep going. If you want to wrap it up, whatever.
Fuck it, let's go piss. I'll piss, and then we'll go
Okay.
do a bump of cocaine, and then we'll.
I was gonna ask you if we could.
No, I don't do that shit anymore.
Well,
That's the best thing about
I
quitting.
was still gonna ask you if we could.
That's the best thing about quitting drinking is that I don't ever have to.
And just for the record, I don't do cocaine.
I think right now you're crazy if you do cocaine.
But you're fucking. I mean, you might as well just do fentanyl.
Yeah.
But I do support farmers and agriculture, and so I would like to take a few tokes off the roach.
I'm there.
In my truck.
I'm with you on that one. All right. Hey, well, let's take a break. Let's get back in here and finish this bitch. Talk for another 3 hours. Just kidding. So Peyton Howie just texted me, says she's not gonna be able to make it tomorrow. We need to reschedule.
She's gonna have to reschedule.
Yeah, I love it when people do that. Somebody else did that to me one night.
Oh man, let me tell you why.
I know why. You went to Post Malone, dog.
Fuck, dude. So I felt so bad about that.
Why?
Because I genuinely, that was the night before my daughter started middle school, and the whole day, she had just told me the night before that she needed a fucking computer. So the whole day, me and her are going back and forth about which computer she wanted. I'm going to go to Best Buy as soon as I get off work and get this fucking computer and come over here and do the podcast. Well, I'm fucking going to get her from my mom's. I'm in my mom's neighborhood, and Nick Russo calls me. And he's like, hey, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm just about to pick up Sydney. And he's like, well, I got an extra ticket to Post Malone. You want to go?
Like, fuck yeah.
And I was like, and he's like, I'm on the way to your house right now. So I'm about to come pick you up. I was like, fuck, dude, a fucking free ticket, a free ride.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
So I left my mom my credit card. She took my kid to Best Buy, and I had to postpone the Jeff Canada show.
No, that's fine, dude. Time is money, bro. Yeah. Time is money, and we're limited on what we have. And, and for me, experiences are where I spend my money. Like, I'd rather spend my money on doing something rad than a computer or a car or stereo or whatever. And so, man, you got to do those things. You got to take advantage of those situations when they come about, because we're boys. Like, we can do this anytime. How many chances are you going to get to go to a Post Malone show?
I'd never seen Post Malone before.
Yeah, I haven't either. But so and not only that, this is a time commitment. It's going to be 2-3 hours. You're not getting paid. And that's how I look at it.
Wait a minute.
Well, that's how I look at it with musicians anyway, right? So I'm not going to get upset when somebody has to reschedule or something like that. It's just part of what it is. It's no big deal. And this can be done anytime. This can literally be done anytime.
Yeah, I wouldn't have. I mean, I was almost forced into it.
Twist my fucking
But then
arm.
I sat at the very back of the lawn, and it was a pretty dope show. Had a good time.
He puts on a great show from what I hear.
Glad that I went and saw him. I think he is going to be transitioning soon, and we will not. The Post Malone that we know today is not going to be the Post Malone of the future. I think he will get into country music. He's playing is he playing what is it? What's that fucking thing? Is it Coachella? I don't know if it's Coachella. No. There's a big festival in California that they do, and country music people play there, and he's doing a country music cover set this year.
That's
Stagecoach
awesome.
Is what it is.
Oh, Stagecoach. Yeah, because I know he's been releasing a lot of that stuff on social media. He's a talented cat, man. He's one of those guys that just loves music.
Yeah, he's dope.
Yeah,
I like all of his
I've never seen him live. I don't, unfortunately, when you do what I do for a living, you don't really get to see a lot of folks live unless they're on the same bill as you, because you just, it's hard to get out and see a band, because, on your nights off when you're not on the road, you want to be home. You don't want to be out partying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I get it.
So unfortunately, most of the bands that I get to see live are because I'm on the same bill as them. Like the other night, we opened up for Jason Boland. That's the first time I've ever seen him play live.
Oh, cool.
Dude, his band was so fucking good, dude.
He's one of my favorites.
Like, his drummer was just phenomenal, man. Like,
did you watch their set?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I always do.
Did he do that song called The Light Saw Me or whatever about the aliens and shit in the woods?
I don't know. I wasn't paying
That's
that close
my favorite
attention.
fucking song.
Really?
I like the Electric Bill one too, though.
The only time there's only been 3 festivals that I've played that I didn't stay till the end. 2 of those were Gary Allen. One of those was because his security team, or maybe not his security team, the security team of the grounds really fucking pissed me off really bad, like to where I was ready to fight somebody. So I said, fuck it, we're leaving. So we all left. The other time was the other Gary Allen show, and that's because I got so fucking high I didn't know where the fuck I was. So I had to get out of there. That TikTok went viral. I got 2.4 million views talking about that shit.
You got 2.4 million
Well,
views?
I didn't. The podcast that I was on did, but it's of my story.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And I think that I'd shared it and I got like 16 or 17,000 views on my TikTok from that one story.
I remember I told Earl when I met Earl that night, I was like, dude, my latest podcast video got 12,000 views. And he didn't say anything. And I was like, well, yeah, that's pretty. He's like, one of my videos, that's like millions of views and shit. I've never had a video go that viral.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't really do anything as far as my fan base or anything like that. But
2.4 million, you didn't see anything?
No, because it really wasn't about music or anything like that. It was just talking about me getting high. And a lot of it was just bashing me. It was hilarious. Like,
yeah,
the
but see,
comments
if
on
I
it.
saw somebody talking about getting high, I'd be like, oh, follow.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's okay. It is what it is. It's not, I don't care. Whatever. But
yeah.
And the other time was we did Anderson Fest last year, and Tracy Bird headlined it. And I had to play my set and split because I had the Kaylee Mills Foundation Gala that night, and we were playing that, and so I just couldn't stay. But other than that, man, I'm when I play a festival or anything like that, I'm the first one there, last one to leave, dude, because I love that shit. I love hanging out with people. I like getting out there and acting like a goofball. It's just one of my favorite things to be around people.
Yeah, I had to leave. Jesse Robb Jr. played a show recently for his benefit thing that he does, and I was out there all day, and I caught, this girl named Mae Estes, who was badass.
She's awesome.
And I never heard of her music before. Saw Jake Bush out there. He was dope as always. But had to leave in the middle of Jesse's set, and I didn't get to see John Wolfe, and I missed Clay Hollis too. But I that's one thing too, man. If I'm gonna go to something, dude, I want to be there before it starts, and I want to be there when they're folding up the fucking chairs, man.
Yeah,
because
that's one of the cool shit. You just don't, like you said earlier, you just don't ever know what's gonna happen in that environment, man.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I've had some great times just hanging out with the artist,
and I don't take it fucking for granted anymore, man. A long time ago, dude, back when I worked at the Buzz, and even when I worked at the Bull, there were so many times where I took it for granted, right? Like, and I got too fucked up at a show or whatever the case may be. I didn't go or fucking didn't think I should go, and it's like, you never know when those opportunities are going to stop. And when they do stop, I mean, that shit sucks, bro.
Yeah.
Like I remember there were so many times, like when I left the Bull, I moved to Colorado. First of all, so that helped because Colorado was cool. But for like fucking 6 years, dude, I didn't go to a fucking show. I didn't go to one fucking show the entire time I lived in Colorado. And I remember when I went back to the Bull and started working there again, this last time around before I came over to KSTAR, it was working. They called me up and they were like, "Hey, cook-off's about to start. We could use your help." And I'm like, "Fuck yeah, dude!" And and I was like, "I can't believe I fucking didn't do this for 6 fucking years. I'm never gonna do that again, right?" Like, so I'm just so grateful for all the opportunities and fucking those moments, man. I live for making memories and shit like that too. That's all that fucking matters to me at this point, dude. I mean,
the cook-off. Oh, that place is the devil.
Yeah. But it's so fun,
dude. I quit drinking because of the cook-off. Yeah.
I've quit drinking a couple of times, but I always start drinking again.
Nah, man, I've had.
How long have you not drank?
500 and.
Oh my god.
Well, hang on. Let me tell the whole story so you don't think I'm some. 585 days ago was the last time I was drunk.
Last time you were drunk.
So I got out there and I don't know what happened. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I don't like to say it because if I hadn't been drinking, it wouldn't have happened. But I don't remember anything after the first 2 drinks at all. I don't remember anything. I mean, I was still drinking. I was still partying. There's plenty of videos. And I just went ham, and it was on sponsor night. And I took my shirt off on stage. I'm up there, "Fuck y'all motherfuckers," and like just going crazy. So they kicked me off the stage. The tent ended up losing some like big, and it was a big tent. Some tent ended up losing some sponsors, and And so, and the very next day I played the steps of City Hall for the mayor for the kickoff party. And I was just fucking hungover, and we put on a good show. But afterwards I called the guys and I was like, hey, you know, what's the deal for tonight? And they're like, yeah, just don't bother. Cause I was supposed to play, you know, all 3 nights, and like, don't bother coming back, bro. They're like, you're done. They don't want you back. You know. And so I was like, man, that's just not like me. I don't have those problems. I mean, I can count on one hand how many times I've been too drunk to play, dude. Like, literally. And so, and yeah, I was like, okay. And it was partly to prove to myself that I wasn't dependent on alcohol, and it was partly to prove to the world or to whoever was watching me that alcohol doesn't control my life, because I was never an alcoholic. I never drank at dinner. I never drank at home. I only drank when I played, but even then I didn't drink every night. But everyone has a story about Drunk Jeff, because you know me, I'm a lot sober, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm a fucking lot. Like,
Were you not drinking when I met you at Scooter Brown's show?
Nope, I wasn't drinking. As a matter of fact, I think you asked me if I would like a drink.
I probably did.
You did. You did, and I was like, no, I don't drink, and
You did.
yeah, but I will
remember that now.
But I will from time to time have a margarita at dinner, or when we were in Florida, Candace and I shared a glass of wine on the beach, you know, stuff like that. Or I took a shot with Cody Hibbard.
So
one night,
I do this thing.
That's it.
And it's because of Nick Russo. We were talking, and honestly, I didn't drink for 3 years before I started working back at that cook-off. And but I enjoy drinking. I enjoy beer. I enjoy whiskey, but I can sometimes drink too much. And Nick and I were having a conversation one night, and he was like, man, I only get drunk around people that I love and that I care about, and when there's something to celebrate.
Yeah.
I don't do it in fucking public. I don't do it just because it's fucking Friday night.
Right.
I don't do it because I had a shitty day at work. You know, I fucking do it when I'm around people I fucking care about. They're doing it. And, you know, when it's something to be celebrated. And it's like, you know what, that shit. I had a beer the other night. I actually was out seeing Nick at his bar gig, and he was like, I don't know if I told you, but I'm still not drinking. And I was like, well, I might have one for you. And I did. I had one beer, but yeah, it's not cool, man. I mean, fuck, dude. Addictions are a motherfucker, dude.
Yeah.
Being a slave to something, bro.
See, I've never been addicted to anything in my life. I don't have an addictive personality. The only thing I've ever been addicted to, and I'm still addicted to, is attention. Yeah. Like, that's it. I'm an attention whore, and if I don't get it, I fucking get mad. Like, give me some attention. But that's also why you see me do some of the outlandish shit you see me do, is because, you know, I love attention. And not in like a narcissistic way, just like, I just love to entertain folks, man. I love to make people laugh, and I love to make people feel things. Love it.
It's your purpose, man.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, but man, I don't knock anybody for what they do. I have it's always been my philosophy. Even when I was in the oil field doing project management in the oil field, even when I owned my own bar, it was.
You owned a bar?
Yeah. Well, it was a brief stint, long story, shitty time.
Classic bar story.
I mean, I was just 10%. I wasn't like, but I was running it. I was operating partner. But I forgot what I was saying.
We were talking about being a slave.
Oh yeah, being a slave. Like, I had something. I had a profound something to say, and it went out the window.
I fucked it up.
So you fucked it up, bro.
God damn it.
You do that a lot. You fuck everything up.
I
always say I fuck everything up.
It was the whole going to see, because my dream is to be a bar owner. That's the long play for me, bro.
Listen, had it not been the circumstances it was under, it would have been fine. Like, it was my side of things was fine. Just the partner that I was with, the whole reason I took the job in the first place, because he was dying, and I wanted to set, and I knew it, and I wanted to set he had a 16-year-old son, and I wanted to set his son up for the future. And I was also done with music, and so I bought into it, and I turned it around. I mean, we started making money, and then he had liver disease. And I don't know if you've ever been around anybody with liver disease or not, but the ammonia builds up in your brain, and it's like dementia. And so he started taking money out of the account and buying cars and buying houses, and checks are bouncing, and I can't pay the comptroller, and blah 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 blah. And I had to get out because of that. Now, you know, if I was to open up another one, I would be just fine. It would just have to be under much better circumstances. Yeah. But also, my mom died like right there at the end of it. She got sick, and I also got divorced. I was, you know, there was like a whole. It was 2017, 18, 19, and the first half of 20 were the worst years of my life. Like it was bad, and that's how I know that I'm not an addict. I wasn't addicted to anything, because even in all those times, I mean, I would go get fucked up for sure, but never, not one time was I thinking about alcohol or thinking about drugs or was I? It was just like a opportunistic drunk, if that makes sense. Yeah, you're just in the right situation. And so, but there's been multiple crazy times, bro. And everybody's got a Jeff Canada story. I don't need it, man. I'm already a lot. People think I'm fucked up sometimes, and I'm not. Yeah. You know? And I don't smoke weed in public. I have it on a few occasions, but I do every night before I go to bed. I eat an edible for sure. Yeah. I can't function without it, I don't think, because I sleep, but I sleep like a baby every night. Every night, I sleep like a baby. On no pharmaceuticals.
I don't like running out of sweet tea or weed, man.
Sweet tea or weed. I don't drink sweet tea anymore, but man, I drank the shit out of it growing up. Dude, my mama and my Aunt Cheryl, we lived on the same property.
Oh, I know Aunt Cheryl has some fucking bomb-ass tea.
Sweet tea, bro. Sweet tea. I don't know how the whole family's not diabetic at this point. And I'm talking about sweet tea, bro.
Where they pour the sugar in before the fucking tea, dude. Yes. Make sure they get it halfway full in the pitcher.
Yeah, that good old Southern mom shit. That tea. And Dr. Pepper's from Sonic. Fuck dude, I don't even know how my... Now,
shit, man. Before we wrap this up.
All right.
Speaking of all this yummy goodness.
Okay.
I brought something that I would love for you to try.
Is it mushrooms?
It is not mushrooms.
Okay. All right. What do we got?
This will not make you have a psychedelic experience.
I mean, we can do that too.
To my knowledge.
I have some of those if we want
to. So my neighbors have a quail farm. And I've been asking everybody to try. I went home the other night and they brought me this mason jar. This is actually a couple months ago, because this isn't the same mason jar, but I got a new batch today. But they brought over a mason jar that had quail eggs in it, but it's in a mustard sauce with onions.
I don't like onions.
You don't like onions? Do you like deviled eggs?
I do like deviled eggs.
Bro, this is the best shit ever. And I'm trying to get everybody to try it, but people look at it and they think I'm trying to like fucking pull one over on them or something. And I'm like, no, you got to try this. So the only person that's tried it is J-Rob. And he wasn't fucking scared. He liked it. But I would love for you to check him out, because this is maybe going to be one of my new side hustles.
All right.
If this works out. We got plenty of fucking quails and quail eggs. I even brought a plastic spoon.
All right. I'm probably not going to do it on the podcast.
Oh, you're not?
I'll probably do it what if I fucking throw up, dog? I'm not scared. I'll try it. Like I said, I don't like onions at all. Like, I don't eat onions.
Well, you don't have to have an onion.
But if
dig the onion out.
Yeah, if the onion is there.
Here, just check them out a little bit.
Let's see this.
I just will show the camera. Yeah.
Let me see what we got here. So these are quail eggs. I wish Candace was here. So is it the whole egg boiled?
Yeah,
is that what it is?
Boiled egg, yeah.
So the onions are here, like in the sauce. They're not actually in the eggs. You just eat the egg.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll try that. No problem.
You sure?
Yeah, I'll do that. No problem.
Okay, I want your honest rating too.
Yeah, I'll definitely try that. We'll do that when we get done here. I'll most definitely do that. Okay. Listen, when it comes to meat or something like that, I'll eat anything. What I stay away from is like casseroles or stuff like that, just because I hate onions, bro. Like, I hate onions more than anything that ever existed.
Really, I enjoy onions.
I don't even.
Why is it you don't like onions?
I just don't fucking like them, and I catch so much fucking shit for it, dude. Like Candace gives me shit about it.
So you eat tacos without onions?
Yes.
What?
I eat everything without onions. I will not. If it has onions, I won't eat it. And I have like an onion radar, bro, because people try to sneak that shit past me. I will catch it. And it's one of those things where I catch so much shit, but my response is, don't you think if I had a choice, I would like them? My life would be much fucking easier if I liked onions.
I could just eat the fucking onions.
If I could just eat the fucking onion,
I wouldn't have to deal
and
with
not
your
throw.
dumbass.
I wouldn't have to deal with your bullshit. I could eat anything at any restaurant, and I'm not like a super picky eater. I will eat anything. I just don't. I despise onions. Like I don't think it was an apple in the Garden of Eden. I think it was a fucking onion. I think that stupid bitch picked a fucking onion and made Adam eat it, and now we are where we are. That's what I think.
I used to be that way with chicken.
Really?
Yeah, but now I'm trying to eat a lot more chicken.
I like chicken. I actually eat more chicken than I don't eat a lot of red meat. Like I don't eat a lot of burgers. I don't eat a lot of steak. I eat a lot of chicken and fish. I would much rather have a good chicken breast than a great steak.
Yeah,
and I know that's weird being from Texas and all. I don't know.
I've been eating more chicken lately. I really kind of don't like it, but I've kind of got to the point to where I like forgot that I don't like it, you know, because I'm just forcing myself to eat it and shit.
Yeah.
I literally been eating chicken and salads for fucking months, bro.
Like I can't even force myself to eat an onion. You could tell me I'm not even kidding.
$10 million, you're not eating an onion?
I couldn't do it, dude. I'd probably eat it, but I would throw the fuck up. I would eat it, and then your shoes would have.
But
puke
what's
on
so bad about it? Is it the sting in the nose?
Man, I don't know, dude, because I don't like them. I don't like them sautéed. I don't like them raw. I don't like them.
Is there anything else that you have this much disdain for?
No. No.
Just the onion.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really like celery, but I'll eat it. I don't really like I don't like lettuce on my hamburgers, but I'll eat a salad.
Is it the crunch?
I don't know, but I'll eat a salad. You know. But like remember you used to go to Luby's and they had the liver and onions, and I love liver, so I would get the liver and onions, and I would just. That
sounds horrible.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm weird, dude.
Luby's liver and onions,
dude. Loved it. So good. I love liver, dude. Liver's great, and it's very good for you. Yeah, well, I guess some part of it's good for you. It's high in cholesterol, though. Yeah, but I like food. Obviously, fucking look at me, dude. And Candace can cook. God, she can cook, man. She's a great cook.
What's your favorite thing that she makes?
She makes a salmon dish, and it's got salmon and asparagus and like tomatoes, and like it's like Parmesan crusted, and it is so good, good. I mean, like it's man, I can almost have an orgasm thinking about it. Yeah. That's how good it is.
Fuck yeah!
Like she does that. She's got this lemon chicken pasta stuff she makes that's super good, man. Like everything she cooks is great. Yeah. And I just cooked for her for the first time the other night. I made chicken fried steak.
Chicken fried steak.
Yeah, that's really the only thing I can cook.
Did you fry it yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Absolutely. Breaded that shit, fried it myself. Yeah. Yeah.
Sick.
And she liked it. She ate the whole thing, and she's like, I've never had a whole chicken fried steak. And I was like, oh, thanks, babe. And then last night I played at Do-Si Do, and I got their chicken fried steak. She goes, can I have a bite? And I gave her a bite, and she goes, yours is way better. And she's not the type of person that would say that unless she meant it. She probably would have said something like, this is way better than yours. Because we bust each other's balls a lot. I think that's a necessity to have a good relationship in both.
Do you?
In both romantic and friendship. I think you have.
You mean when you're in one?
Right. I just think the way where I come from, busting each other's balls is a sign, is like endearment.
Oh yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like if I come up to you and I'm like, what's up, you fat fuck? If I say that, that means I love you.
Right.
It does not mean that because if I don't like you, I won't talk to you at all.
Right.
I won't even acknowledge you in the fucking room. And I'm bad about it too, because there's a lot of motherfuckers I don't like. And I'll just be like, nah, man, I'm good.
Jeff letting loose tonight.
I'm always like this, bro. And that's one thing I'm scared about on this podcast, is that I say the same thing over and over and over. So I'm trying not to do that as much. So
you know what it is? Your fucking podcast.
It is the Jeff Canada show.
Well, that's right. And so Jeff Canada makes the fucking decisions around here.
You know what?
I have to tell people that, hey, this is a Zakk United show. If you don't fucking like it, It's
Yeah.
not the fucking Bryan Adams show, dude, or fucking whatever, right? Like this,
Yeah.
it's got my name in the headlights.
I like
dude.
that. That's a
Yeah.
good idea. But I mean, I don't know. I think if you want to be, if you want to be received well, then you have to think about.
Yeah, but you, like you
little
said, the one thing that we've talked about a lot, and that I've always told you that I really fuck with you for, is your authenticity, man. Just putting it out there on Front Street and fucking, it is what it is.
Let the chips fall where they may, bro. Yeah, I think that's the way I've always been my whole life. I've kind of always been the black sheep of the family and a little bit different than everybody else. And I've always been like extremely open mouthed. And it's got me a lot of trouble, but it's also got me a lot of cool shit too. It's got me some promotions and it's got me fired.
Yeah, my mouth's always got me fired.
Really? I've only been fired once.
Oh, I've been fired so many. I've been fired from every radio station I worked for,
Yeah.
including the Bull, twice.
Is it because you're like in meetings being a dick?
When I worked at the Buzz, it was because I was a dick and on drugs, and they were probably right for doing that. It was such a fucked up environment though at that time, bro, because that was the whole culture there, right?
Right.
Like, it wasn't like it was my idea to fucking party at work,
Yeah, everybody was.
Yeah.
You're just the one that got.
Yeah, I'm the one who took it a little too far, and I admit I was young and fucking stupid and crazy and fucking I would have done the same shit, but yeah, I got fired from. I didn't get fired from Rock 101. They moved me to the Buzz. I got fired from the Buzz. I got fired from the Bull the first time. I didn't get fired from the station in Florida. I didn't get fired in Denver. I quit those 2 jobs, but I got fired from the Bull twice. And
But
they
this
hired me 3 times.
Oh,
though.
yeah. So this last time you quit.
Last time I quit, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember you told me that you were going over to KSTAR, and I was like,
Yeah.
dude, that's fucking badass.
Yeah, I really, I'm so happy that I did, man. I wish I would have done it a long time ago, honestly. I mean, I love all the people at the Bull. I really love Nick, and, I had so much fun over there. I had so many cool opportunities and got to do and meet so many cool people because of that. But like I said, the long game as I get older, dude, it's just different. And really what I care about is fucking country music and being a part of country music. And more so than that, the one thing, Jeff, that got me to come over to KSTAR's when they told me I could do my Texas show again,
Yeah.
And that's what really fucking means something to me, is working with Texas artists and
So is that show every day, or is it
no, my Texas show's only Saturday nights,
Saturday nights?
10 o'clock on Saturdays.
Is it all pre-recorded, or
It's not. Actually, I've been doing it live, which
Cool.
I fucking go in Saturday nights at 10 o'clock, which is fucking crazy.
yeah? Do you have artists on when you do that?
I have had, the only artist that I've had on is Jesse and Blue Water Highway.
Oh yeah,
Blue Water Highway,
those guys
man.
are
They
killer.
fucking ripped.
Dude, their harmonies are insane.
They played in the studio and their new song and shit, and they were awesome. But I definitely want to have more. I've actually really been. So when I started doing that show, it was still the old show at KSTAR. It was Lisa's old show, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I basically did her old show for the first 3-4 months, whatever I was there. Only. Seriously, like I just got like all my Texas show shit with my name on it like a couple weeks ago, so
Do you act as the program director for that show too? Like, you pick the songs, or is that?
So I consult with Lisa, out of respect for Lisa, since she's the program director and the music director. I sent her a suggestion list. I'm like, hey, if you could consider putting these in, that'd be fucking dope. However, I curate the playlist, like whatever's in our library as far as Texas music goes. Like, I pick from that. Like, it's not like a pre-programmed fucking
Gotcha.
playlist. Like, I'm in there actually playing songs. Like this past week, I started the show with Charlie Crockett because he has a new album out. I played fucking, the new Cody Johnson because he has, he announced his fucking new tour. I played the new fucking Bart Crow band because I wanted to. I played the new Wade Bowen because I wanted to.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So it gives you an opportunity to like really stretch your legs and like. Really...
I mean that's really it for me, man. Like doing my show is cool during the week. I love it because again they let me do whatever.
What time are you on?
2 to 7.
2 to 7
Monday through
on
Friday.
just so y'all know, 2 to 7 KSTAR out of Conroe, Texas.
Hell yeah, get that KSTAR Country app. It's free.
I love that station, man. They're the first station that I got to go in and play on the radio.
Hell yeah.
So it wasn't Lisa that had us. It was one of the guys. The second time I went on, it was with Lisa, and she was like pregnant.
Okay.
But the first time it was the guy. She wasn't, or maybe I met her. I can't remember. I mean, I knew her before. I met her a couple of times, but I went on with. It was before Scott Brown's Lake Fest. It was me, Scott Brown, Jason Cassidy. We all went in there and we all played a song, and
yeah,
that was. I
cool see day. Jason rolling around Conroe all the time, man, and I love Jason Cassidy. I've been a fan of his for a long time. And I've said it on the radio a couple of times too. I'm like, dude, if you're listening, man, I want to have you come in, bro. Like, fucking come hang with me and shit. He has the dopest fucking trucks, bro.
Dude, it's insane.
He's got this fucking one that he's driving around right now. It's called Tiffany. It's like this fucking Tiffany blue, like 70-something Chevy, 72 Chevy or some shit. Oh my god, it's so badass.
The one he did for Charlie Slamford, dude. That thing's bad.
That thing's sick too.
Ass, dude.
Yeah, I didn't know he did that one.
Yeah, it's Cassidy Customs. There's a bunch of them around, dude. That guy, man.
Yeah, he does some sick shit.
Dude, it's fucking nuts, dude, how good his stuff is.
Yeah.
It's good. Our last show we did together, Charlie wasn't around to introduce me, and Jason's like, I'll introduce you. And I said, well, you can only introduce me if you talk shit. He's like, no, man, I'm not doing that. I was like, nah, dude, get up there and talk some shit. And he did. He got up there, and when he introduced me, he just like fucking railed on me, dude. And I'm like, yeah, like that, because I love that shit, dude. Like that's my favorite stuff, dude. Whenever, that's the Jeff Canada Sucks thing. That's what that's about. It's about like, let's embrace that shit, dude.
Yeah.
You're gonna carve that shit on a bathroom wall anyway. Why not go and sell it as the website? Dude.
I love it. I think it's great.
So it's cool whenever other artists bust my balls like that, and it makes me feel part of the club.
Yeah, it's love, man.
Yeah. That Chad Prather's another one that just bust my balls, dude. I love that kid.
Yeah.
Or that guy. He's not a kid. He's just a couple years younger than me, or like Cooper Wade.
He's a good dude.
There's a lot of cats around town that are super cool to hang. I mean, Harley's one of those guys, man. I'm so proud of him, dude, and where he's come.
He's the shit, man.
And Drew too. Like Drew came out last night, did some video stuff.
Dude, I feel like I fucking hit the jackpot with those fellas. I don't know how that shit fell into my lap, Jeff. I mean, a year ago, dude, I was wishing and begging that I could have a fucking podcast and have fucking guys that had their shit together and could film and edit and fucking they're the shit. I'm so lucky to be a part of that with them. And Harley, beyond the podcast, he's a great singer and a fucking songwriter, and he's a great dude. He's a great family man. He's a good dad. Like he's a good husband.
So unbelievably,
he's someone. He's younger than me, but I look up to him. Yeah. So
he's just underrated.
And Drew too. Drew as well.
Yeah, Drew's great too. I haven't known Drew as long as I've known Harley. Harley and I kind of got off on a rough start because this was back when he was using still.
Yeah.
And or drinking. I don't know what his deal was, and he was getting into book because him, he's like into everything. Like he's just fucking
he's a hustler, man.
And so there were some issues where he double booked some people or something, I can't remember. And he came out to see a show that I was playing one time, and I'm one of those guys, if you ask me a question, I'm going to let you know. And I flat out told him, I was like, dude, you're fucking up, man. Like, if you're going to be booking bands, you need to have the money to pay those bands, because if the venue fucks, the band should never get fucked over.
Yeah.
And if you're charging a commission on shows, it's your job to make sure everything goes smoothly. And if a venue doesn't pay a band, then you owe that money to that band, and then you can go deal with the venue for that because you're the contact point. And I said, you're just fucking up, man. And he'll even tell you now that conversation kind of sparked a little bit of the change in him and drinking and all that stuff. And I'm just really, really, I didn't know him that well, but I'm super proud of him.
Yeah,
him and I did a song swap recently and just had a great time. And he's a very underrated songwriter.
I agree with that statement 100%.
And singer and guitar player. He's underrated. But a lot of that is kind of because he's involved in everything and he's such a hustler that he's not really focusing on like me, for example. Everybody knows what I'm focused on. I'm focused on writing and releasing music and pushing this thing, right? I'm not focused on booking. I'm not focused on anything other than that. I mean, even this podcast is only to give more access to from my fans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, but he's got to make. The thing is, you got to make money, and he's a hustler, and he's providing for his family. He's a great dad, and he's providing for his family.
He'll tell you his thing is song. You know, he wants to be a songwriter.
Yeah.
You know.
It's just hard when it's very difficult when you have to work your ass off to make ends meet, to focus on a certain aspect of something.
Yeah, and that dude, he's working every night, man.
No, dude, he's a hustler, bro. I mean, I got so much mad respect for him. Mad respect for him. And anybody that's listening to this, if you have an issue with him, he's totally got his shit together, and
I never knew Harley in the past. I've only known the good Harley. So.
And it wasn't like he was a dick or bad. It was just, a lot of it's just not knowing. You know what I mean? And then a lot of it is you need that next fix. You need that next drink. And you're going out and you're having $80, $90 bar taps. So you have to make money to make that happen. And so you started hustling, and then you let some stuff slip through. And that's really what it is. And whenever musicians start talking shit about you because you're fucking up, the word travels very, very, very fast. Yeah, in this industry, like very fast. Like I've said something negative about one person, like 4 days later, it's like a fucking war, bro. And luckily for me, I don't fucking care. So it's not all right. Yeah, light the fucking dynamite. Let's roll.
Luckily for me, I don't have anybody that I can go to war with, man.
I'll bet you have some haters out there.
Maybe I do, but we're not playing the same game. I'm in my own fucking game.
And that's where I'm at right now, right? I'm not focused on any of that shit anymore. At first, I was really upset about some stuff that happened. Now I'm just like, no, man. Look at me. Look what I'm doing. Yeah. I mean, look how many people know who I am now versus 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely not famous by any stretch of imagination, but there's a lot of fucking
You got
people.
over fucking 10K on Instagram. I always tell people, like, hey, dude, if you got over fucking 10,000 people following you, you could quit your fucking day job. You know, you can quit your day job and make that work.
Yeah, you can.
You know?
For sure.
That's a you know,
and
it's
especially
insane
now
that people have. I mean, think about it, dude. People that have like 100,000 people, that's like fucking more than NRG Stadium filled up.
Dude, Jerry Wayne Longmire, you know who that is? Stand-up comedian. He's fucking phenomenal. That guy's got 230-something thousand followers on Facebook.
Yeah. When these guys have those kind of numbers, man, that's.
Yeah, he's such a good content creator. He's raking in the dough just off content. That's not even counting live shows.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I want to get to. What I want to get to is where there's enough people consuming my music or my content to where I don't have to struggle so much in my day-to-day life and say no. Like, if I take off on a Saturday night to go to a wedding with my girlfriend, it fucking hurts.
Yeah.
And so I want to get to the point where monetarily it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
And because right now, I mean, I'm definitely making a living playing music, and I have since 2006. But right now I'm also personally the brokest I've ever been because so much money is being invested back into the product. Before I was just playing cover shows every night and just making bank, but you didn't have to invest a whole lot of money in that once you had the PA. And, now it's like Facebook ads and music videos and record. I mean, each song you record is $2,000. Yeah, man. I mean, $2,000 a song, $3,000 a video, $5,000 a radio push. $500 in advertising
on one song.
And then you get a band together and you're paying these guys, $200 a night, sometimes $300 a night. So if you get $1,000 show, and you're end up making $200, it goes pretty quick trying to figure out where to. And that's kind of where you start to look where I'm at, where you start to really look at what you're spending money on and has a return on it and what really makes sense. And then you start looking at the fuckery, and then you get to where our whole first 30 minutes we talked about this on this podcast. And it's a lot, dude. It's a lot. And but listen, I worked in the oil field or as a project manager in the oil field for 10 years before I started doing this full time. And I could go back to doing that, and I could make no telling what I can make. I truly believe that this right here is what I was meant to do. I think I was meant to be on stage, making people feel or making people think. That's what I feel. Or even this podcast or whatever that might be. I feel like that's what I was put on this earth to do. I don't think I was put on this earth to be on a fucking cubicle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean 100%.
Or hitting a time clock but I've done it. I've definitely done it. And, you know, I don't know, maybe one day I'll have to get a real job again or a day job. I hate when people say real job. I fucking hate it. I fucking hate it. Because it's like, what do you do for your real job? What do you mean? What do you mean real
fucking
job?
Money's real, bro.
Yeah. Like I pay real bills with the real money that I'm making from this real show. Like it's a real job. But what most people don't see is they see us playing a 90-minute set or an hour set or even a 3-hour set. They see us doing that. They don't see the waking up and getting on and emailing and, you know, and content and writing. And I mean, it's just, I spend probably, you want to talk about getting to 10,000 followers on Instagram. I mean, to get to 13,000 followers, I spent 4 or 5 hours a day on there doing stuff. And I got these things that I do every day. I do them every single fucking day.
Yeah.
And,
man, I tried to post a reel every day in the month of September, and I did, but it was so fucking exhausting.
it is.
It was like literally, I worked Saturday. I did the Texas show Saturday, and I went out to the honky tonk after that. But fucking Sunday, I did not look at my phone, and that's the first time I've not looked at my phone in fucking years. But I was so fucking drained.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like a lot to post a reel. Like you think about it, you're like, oh, I can fucking post a reel every day. But to think about it, then to do the content, to get the content fucking right and presentable the way you want to present it, then to edit it, then to post it at the right fucking time, have the right fucking captions, have the right, it's like, fuck, bro. It hurts my head thinking about it right now.
Yeah, dude. You got to put the right hashtags, all this shit.
All that shit.
It's nuts. And that's
make sure you tag the right people, bro.
Yeah. And that's what people don't realize. They don't see all that shit, you know? The one good thing, the one saving grace is you can reuse content.
Yeah.
And it's encouraged, you know.
You should.
And you should have. So what I do is I look at my memories a lot, and if there was something that's like a really cool memory, I'll take that off and then I'll post it or I'll re-upload it or whatever. You can do that. Also, one thing that really helped me out was the business suite, which is put out by Facebook and Instagram, and you can schedule posts. You can schedule them out. So like I can sit down for an hour on Monday and have my whole week's post scheduled. So that way all I'm doing is reacting now. I'm just doing the cool shit. And that helps out a lot too. If you like carve out a certain time of your week, I'm only going to work on this and get it all planned out. But man, it's tough, dude. And calendars, fuck, dude. It's like, there's like 6 calendars I have to update for every fucking show. Every show. And they all have to have different shit, or I could just use one of those Hootsuite things or one of those deals.
It's a lot. For people who don't think it's a fucking passion project, that you happen to just make a little money at, you're wrong,
Dude, it's a lot, man. And I can't imagine what it's like if you're on that next level than I am, but you still don't have a team. I think once you get at like Cody Johnson's level, you got a team,
Right.
You got people that work on certain stuff. But I think when you're on like Carson Jeffrey's level or Tanner Usray or somebody like that's level, it's like fuck. Because I don't know if they have teams or not. I don't think they do. I don't ever see Tanner rolling around with the same crew.
Yeah. Well, I know he got a record deal.
Did he? I don't know.
He got signed, I think, by Atlantic like recently.
Oh, really?
Like I saw him earlier this year. That was the first time I met him. I actually went to go see the Lowdown Drifters. Didn't know who Tanner Usher was.
Playing with them on Saturday.
I know. I'm going to try to make it. That's actually a great lineup.
Just sucks where I have to play.
And they have one of my favorite musicians in all of country music, and I'll leave it at that. But
on that lineup?
Huh?
On that lineup?
In the Lowdown Drifters specifically.
The bass player.
Hey, Raina, if you're listening,
She might. We follow each other on Instagram.
She's the shit. She follows me on Instagram.
Yeah, I shot her a message the other day, and I was like, "Hey, I can't wait to share the stage with you guys on whatever."
She's phenomenal.
And she straight up answered me back, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Hoosier brothers, like the Hoosier brothers are really, I don't know if you met those guys or not. They're
I've seen them, never met them.
Super cool dudes, man. I got to play a festival in Stephenville with them, and dude, and I've hung out with them a couple times since. Super, super good dudes, down to earth. They won't follow me back on Instagram, but you know, I also get that. You know what I mean? I don't. It is what it is. If you don't follow me back, don't follow me back. But in person, they're always super fucking cool, and to me, that matters the most. Josh, obviously, Ward is, you know, I love that dude.
Fucking legend.
I went to high school with him, so
did you?
Yeah, I went, but we both went to Splendora.
No shit.
Yeah, he was a couple years under me, but you know, I've played shows with that guy back when. I mean, there was one venue we played that was like, woof.
Yeah, the first time I met Josh, I think the first time I met him was actually with Scooter Brown, Scott.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, last time I talked to him was when maybe we played a show together since then. But when I shot the Ride With Me music video out in Dobbin, he lives out there, and he was there. He was I don't think he came out for that.
He's one of my favorites, man.
Yeah, he's fucking dude. His music's great. He's cool. His camp's cool. You know, Chris Loring, who I love, is John Loring's dad, plays guitar for him, and I know Steven is either a tour manager or something like that, and Miles, I think, is playing guitar for him now. Like they're just he's got a good camp, man. He's a cool dude for sure.
Sure.
And then who else is on that bill? Jason Allen's on that bill, which I'm stoked because I still haven't played a show with Jason. I just met him for the first time at 2-3 Awards, and we had a great time. I love that dude. His wife's cool too. They have that podcast, Untamed Thoughts.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's her and a lady from Conroe here. So it's going to be a cool thing. It's weird because I'm the first act, like very, very first act, and it's weird because in Montgomery County, it's like, come on, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when I look at the bill, like, because it's me, then Jason Cassidy, then I think Hoosier Brothers, Lowdown Drifters, Jason Allen, then Josh Ward. Like, where are you going to put me? I know a lot of artists have problems with that. I'm kind of one of those guys that just put me where you want to put me, and it's my job to sell my slot. But I would like to be higher in the rotation or higher in the bill when it's Montgomery County.
Yeah.
You know. But hey, I got to play third at the Madisonville thing the other day, so that was cool.
Yeah, that was one I wanted to go to. I didn't get to.
We had a good time. It wasn't a great turnout. It was very hot, and they had it all set up on pavement. It was just super fucking hot. But you know, Rick Trevino is one of my favorites.
Dude, my cousin fucking plays for Rick. My cousin is Dustin Garrett.
I love Dustin.
I've never met my cousin.
Dustin gave me after the whole Buc-ee's ordeal. Dustin, the next show we played, but Dustin bought me a cup and it said "Buc-ee sucks" or something, and it had the Jeff Canada logo and everything on it. Like he custom did it. I love Dustin, man. He's a good dude. He's teaching, or he's like head of music department at a university in New Mexico now.
Yeah.
He's great, dude. I remember when because who was playing guitar for him is now playing for Tracy Bird. I can't remember. And I remember when Dustin took over, that guy introduced me to Dustin. Since then, him and I have been boys, dude. We talk online or whatever. We text each other. And
yeah, he's my fucking legit cousin. I've never met him, I don't think. Maybe when we were like fucking young. He's way younger than me, but
yeah, he's a cool dude and phenomenal guitar player.
Fucking badass on guitar.
Good. Yeah, and he's just a cool dude.
Yeah.
That, to me, my favorite thing about doing this now are the people that I get to meet. And end up being just fucking good friends or just rad ass people.
Yeah.
Trent Cowie, you know.
I love Trent.
Peyton Howie's another one. Her whole band. You know, even Tanner, I played at Steamboat. I played up at Music Fest this last year. And I was playing and I look out and Tanner's in the crowd. And I'm like, I got a little nervous.
That's fucking cool, right?
And then, I got a little nervous. And then afterwards, I went over and I just introduced myself to him. And he was completely cool. And so I was like, okay, since he was at my show, I'm going to go to his show. So he played at the Dung Beetle Saloon. So I was front fucking row for that show. And life changing. Like
Yeah.
him, Jordan Nix, and Kevin Galloway from Uncle Lucius, man, watching those three dudes acoustic is like it's so inspiring. It makes you want to pick up your guitar and start writing. Makes you want to practice. Makes you want to. I mean, just they're so good, dude.
Yeah, I'm so happy that Uncle Lucius is back.
Yeah, he told the story up at Steamboat. Like it just happened. Like
They were on fucking Yellowstone last night, bro.
Yeah.
Which.
Yeah. Yep.
And what a great fucking song. That song, "Keep the Wolves Away,"
It's
stood the test of time. It's always gonna be there.
Yeah.
Fucking A1 song, dude.
Yeah, that's a great song. And the first time I saw Kevin Galloway play, he opened up for David Ramirez at Do-Si Do, and it was just him and a cello player. And I'm sitting here watching this dude and just like mancrush.com, bro. Like I'm just, man, so good. That voice and his vibrato and the delivery and the way he, just everything about that kid or that guy is like, man, like that's what I want to do. And so what I really like is when I see somebody like that, or like I said, Jordan Nix or Tanner, or Parker Ryan, like when I see those kids play, it makes me want to work harder on my craft.
Oh yeah.
You know, as opposed to like seeing a band and then I'm so bored I'm nitpicking their shit.
I definitely like Tanner. I think he's got some really good shit. I think he's also one of those guys that kind of has his own fucking sound, you know.
For sure.
Like, I don't know what the fuck you can compare it to.
That song, Pick Up Your Phone.
That's a great song.
Holy fuck. Every time I hear it. And what's cool about Tanner too is he's still on that level where if I like say something on Instagram or he always comments back.
Yeah.
Always.
He's the one who did not say yes to my podcast, but I wasn't talking about you earlier, and I'd still love to have you to come on, Tanner. Anytime.
That's cool. Maybe
But I think that happened right when he got his deal. I think he was like down to come on, and he probably would have come on, but like all that shit happened. That was like, I think he was on like Rolling Stone or something. It was a big time for him. It was like a couple months ago. So
man, I don't know how I missed that. I need to go back and look at it. Well, good man. Congratulations, bro. You deserve everything you get. I know you probably won't fucking hear this, but that guy deserves everything he gets.
Yeah, he's really good, man. He's good at the social. You heard that song, "Beautiful Lies"?
Yep.
I love that song, but I love the version he does with Gracie York. God,
they did it live at Steamboat. She got up on stage and
she's phenomenal.
Yeah, she got up on stage.
She's one of my favorite female singers from Texas. Like,
really?
Honestly, fuck. Miranda's always going to have the top spot for me. But I don't know another female singer that I've been as excited about.
Really?
From Texas.
I like Sarah Hobbs a lot.
Sarah's good.
A lot. I like Brie Bagwell, of course. Juliana Rankin is one that you need to.
The Rankin twins?
I don't know if she's part of that or not. I got to do a song swap with her in Steamboat. And
is she blonde?
No, she might be now. I don't know. You know, women change their hair all the time. She's fucking phenomenal, dude. Like, she's really good. Got a great voice. Really good songwriter. Just like really sweet and cool. And that whole group, Sarah and Bree and her, and they're all just rad as fuck, dude. Like, Bree is one of the coolest fucking people I've ever met.
I love her
life.
podcast.
Dude, it's so good.
Yeah.
Juliana was on there, was one of the episodes of her. I don't know if she's part of the Rankin Twins. I don't think so. I don't know enough about her. I just know that every release she puts out
I know
really
the twins. Good. I've met them so many times, but I can't think of their names offhand. I
can show you a picture of her, and you can say if that's one of them. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Sorry, Juliana. I don't know enough about you, but she's just really good. And Sarah, super sweet, really good. There's a lot of them right now that are that are really, really good. You know who I like as a female?
Who?
Morgan Wade.
Oh yeah, her shit's awesome,
dude. And then Megan Maroney, like some of her stuff is like, what in the fuck?
I like Megan Maroney's. I love her voice.
Yeah,
it's so raw and raspy and gritty. And she is not that, right? Like, she's just almost perfect, in my opinion.
I don't think I've ever seen a picture of her.
But I like I like the stuff that I hear her play, just her and her guitar,
Right.
more than the produced stuff that I hear.
Yeah, she just put out a song with somebody, I can't remember who it is, and it's called Fix You Too or something. Just came out. It's so fucking good.
You know who else I like from Texas? While we're speaking of Texas women, is
I don't think either of them are from Texas.
I don't think Megan Monroe. She's Tennessee or something, but
Yeah.
I like Katie Offerman.
Yeah, she's good too.
Bro, have you
but
heard
also
that?
May Esses is good.
She's Arkansas though,
Oh, is she? I don't know. She's phenomenal.
which is kind of Texas.
Cat Hasty.
Okay,
You know who that is?
I've heard the name.
Dude, she's like good. You know, when you watch some of these people, it's like, fuck, they're just so good. There's so much talent out there.
Yeah,
And I think what's really cool is this time and like day and age, it's so easy to not easy. It's easy to get your music out way easier than it's ever been. Now that's a double-edged sword because that means there's more noise out there than there's ever been. But there's just so many talented folks.
I've been thinking about this lately. I really feel like this is a good time for country music, man, and I'm happy to be a part of country music right now. And you know, I was a part of country, and you hate to talk shit about any period of country music, right? But there was a while there where it was so saturated with that pop shit, and nothing against Luke Bryan. Like, there's some fucking Luke Bryan songs that I jam. There's some Cole Swindell shit that and those guys are nice guys, but like all that shit that Morgan Wallen that you get fucking beat up with all the time. Like, we're in such a good era of music right now. Like, you heard of Brent Cobb?
Oh, I love Brent Cobb.
Bro, that new record that he put out.
Yep.
Fucking.
I got a song called Eatin' Crow that I've been working on. That
cool.
It's very influenced by Brent Cobb.
Yeah, I really like his shit. Fucking Jake Worthington, dude, is maybe my favorite artist on the planet. I love him as a person.
Yeah.
He's funny as fuck. He's humble. He's hardworking. And for me, man, he is like the best thing for my ears, bro. Like,
Yeah.
he fucking amps
That
me
new
up,
album or the latest album he put out is insane.
bro.
So fucking
And he's
good.
so good live too. His band is so badass, bro. Adam, the guy who plays steel guitar for him, is probably my favorite pedal steel player. Him and Hot Rod from Cody Jinks band. But yeah, dude, it's just it's a really good time for fucking music, man. There's always, and that's what I love, man. As a fan of music, man, I love when people share something new with me, and it's like I can't fucking stop listening to it. You know. I love that.
I hate it. I hate it whenever it's so good or so catchy that it gets stuck in my head, and it's like, fuck. Trent Cowie has that song "She Ain't Dancing Here No More." I fucking hate that song. It's so good.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a good song, and it's so fucking catchy. And I haven't listened to it in 6 months, but it'll just pop in my fucking head. Paige Lewis she's a really good friend of mine.
I like her too.
Dude, I've known her for years.
Is she the one that does the Karen song?
She does the Karen, that fucking song. That song, like, listen, if I have to listen to a Four Non Blonde song to get your song out of my fucking head, I hate you for that song.
Did you hear that Dolly just covered What's Up? Four Non Blondes?
No, I haven't. I didn't hear that.
Bitchin'.
Yeah, it's a great song. But like the Karen song, Peyton Riley just came out with a song called Packin', and she does this like knock, knock, knocking part, and it's like it gets stuck in my fucking head, and I just want to, you know what I mean? But that's a compliment. Like, I'm complimenting that.
I'm excited to watch her grow.
Peyton?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Peyton Riley.
Yeah, we played together last night. She's really good. She's got, I mean, to see where she was a year ago when I first met her to where she is now, like on guitar,
She's
vocally.
like in high school, right?
She's 14 years old.
Yeah.
14 years old, bro.
That's awesome, man. It's
But like her
awesome.
parents and we text back and forth. I kind of,
I was just gonna say it's awesome that her parents are letting her embrace this at a time where, you know, I mean, if you're gonna make it, you got to do it when you're young. You got to be in there like that, you know. And she's in the trenches. She's out there promoting shows. She's on social media. She's doing it all. You know?
same with Peyton Howie. Same thing. Yeah, same thing with them. I mean, her mom because she's been doing it for a bit. You know, she's 21.
I don't really know Peyton Howie's story.
She's 21 finally. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she just turned 20. Well, I think in like October or November.
Yeah, that's young, man. Fuck.
Yeah, she's great. Last night there was a girl named Dare McLeod, and she played with me and Peyton at Do-Si-Do for that Love Hills Youth thing. And Dare was the lead actress on a show called Ghostwriters on Apple TV.
Okay.
So she's like a musical theater kid, but I don't think I've ever seen a girl command a room the way that it was almost like I almost didn't want to go on after her. She was so good. Right? Because I had to play after. And she just really knows how to command a room.
That's awesome.
And so that's good. There's all kinds of talent. But hey, let's wrap this fucker up, dude. Like I said, I can talk to you all fucking day, all night. We could probably go.
You guys follow me on social media. If he doesn't fucking eat the egg, I'm calling him out.
No, I'm gonna eat. Hey, we can do a reel about me eating the egg.
It's pushed over here into the far corner.
No, we're doing it. I'm gonna eat the egg. I'm just not gonna do it on this. Let's get video of me eating the egg. No, I'll do it. I'll fucking eat anything as long as it doesn't.
Let's go to the bar in there and do it.
Yeah, we'll go to the bar. We'll do a little reel. And
yeah.
Last night I was drinking the gravy at Do-Si-Do out of a cup. And Drew was there and he got it all on video. So
nice.
I'm waiting to see how that turned out. Yeah, I'll do anything like that. That doesn't bother me. I'll eat any meat.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, I just don't like onions, bro.
Well, hey, before we finish it, thank you, Jeff, for having me on, man. It was cool to sit here and fucking visit with you and chit chat.
You're a fucking legend around here, bro.
And cut up. You're a fucking legend too, bro.
I'm working on it. I think more people know who you are than me.
I don't know about that.
Not
according to our Instagrams.
Well, I don't know. Those numbers can be.
When I moved to Colorado, bro, I completely said fuck social media. I literally wasn't on for like 6 years, you know. So, and I still have the same account. So I feel like sometimes that kind of fucking hinders like my algorithm and shit like that. Sometimes I feel like maybe I should fucking pay to promote shit, but everything that goes against everything that I'm fucking is in my body. And sometimes I'm like, well, maybe I need to get a new account, you know, but you know, it's out there.
I can show you some tricks.
I'm always about a trick.
Yeah, I can show you some tricks that'll get slowly. Like I did mine slowly. Like the thing about mine is there are definitely some bots on there because I'll get followers from these girls they'll have one or two pictures.
I block them all though, bro.
Yeah, I just leave them on there because it just whatever. But
I feel like they're stealing your shit though.
I don't give a fuck. But the majority, 90% of the folks that are on there, I've talked to.
Yeah.
Like I've messaged or we've talked back and forth. They're real people. It's not, and so I can show you some tricks to get that number up a little bit.
Hell yeah, dude.
But yeah, you don't have to thank me, bro. I appreciate you coming on here.
Of course I have to thank you. It's the Jeff Canada show.
Well,
man.
I appreciate it. I love you, brother. I think you're awesome. I think from the very first day that I officially met you, which was at the War Hippies show, whenever they blew fucking whoever the middle act was off the stage. I don't remember who it was.
I don't even remember who was playing that night besides the War Hippies.
War Hippies, Travis Tritt was the headliner.
Oh, it was Chris Jansen.
But Chris Jansen. And I'm not talking shit about Chris Jansen.
Yeah, I'm not either.
But War Hippies were so good, dude, that 80% of the venue left to go back. Remember that? How long that line was to get to talk to them at the merch booth?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so happy for Scott, man.
Yeah, they killed that night. And that was such a cool room to see them in.
Dude, you know Foo Fighters are playing that room.
I did not know that. I just saw that they announced a show in Denver.
They're playing 5,000 seat room. They're Foo Fighters playing 713 Buddy Mine has tickets.
Is that the one where the tickets went on sale recently?
Yeah.
You can't get a ticket.
No, they sold like 30 seconds. Like can you imagine going to a venue right now and watching the Foo Fighters in that small of a venue?
No.
I would fucking, come on.
I would love to see the Foo Fighters.
I've seen them live a couple times.
I've seen them
been at big shows.
I'd like to see them now, though. You know?
I saw them play one time. It was on a Buzz Fest years ago, like 1 or 2 or 3, and they had Foo Fighters play, and they had Space Hog close the show. And so the Foo Fighters play, and then after they got done, 90% of the people fucking left. So Space Hog goes on, and they're like, "Hey, if you're in the audience, y'all come on up to the pit." And like everybody from the lawn and everything just came up to the pit and rocked out with Space Hog, which was really cool. Really cool to see. Man, those early BuzzFests were badass, dude.
BuzzFest was dope back in the day until it was the same shit every fucking year for fucking 10 years.
Yeah, I stopped going.
It literally was 10 years every year for 10 years.
Yeah.
Remember the band 10 Years they played for? Like
10 years. I remember.
It was them. It was Papa Roach. It was Seether. It was Blue October.
Blue October.
Fucking. It's just. It was
like I went to the early ones. Like I remember I went to one.
Their last one had a really good lineup with fucking
I saw that.
Highly Suspect and shit.
Yeah, I saw that.
I was like, fuck. Should I?
I went
go?
to one and they had lit on the side stage over by the concession stands. They don't do that show anymore.
Oh, they don't do the side stage?
I don't think so. But they had do a side stage, but I think it's somewhere else. But on that stage, they highly underestimated Lit's fan base.
Yeah.
Because everybody fucking lit. There was people on top of the concession stand.
Hell
like
yeah.
literally 15,000 people went to the side stage.
I used to love being a part of BuzzFest, man. That was such a fucking awesome
Yeah, I went.
time.
I saw Collective Soul back then. I saw the Flies. The Flies were on two of them
Remember
back
I
to
got
back.
to interview fucking Everlast one year, bro.
Oh.
I got fucking old school, like fucking Walgreens developed photos of me and fucking Everlast hanging out. Like,
No way.
Yeah, just fucking,
That's badass, man.
Suits.
Saliva was.
Saliva was cool.
Remember
I
back when-
hanging out with Puddle of Mud when Wes was fucking crazy and awesome, and
I brought him up on this podcast, like episode 1.
fucking Amy from Evanescence let me touch her butt one year.
Oh,
That was sick. That was when she was dating Sean from Seether.
nice.
It was fun. BuzzFest used to be so much fun, man.
Yeah.
I'm sure it still is for all those guys, but
I would say the last time I went to one was probably 2004.
the last one I went to was the one before they fired me, probably. So, you know,
Do you talk to Rod or any of those dudes?
I don't talk to Rod. I've tried to. I've never had an issue with Rod. I've always thought he's the fucking man. He's a legend, and he's so good at what he does. I've sent him messages on social media. He didn't reply. I've talked to Teresa a couple times. The only one that I talk to on a regular basis is Kara. I do shoot the shit with her a couple times a year, and every once in a while I talk to AD, even though he's not there anymore. He is in St. Louis, and my sister lives in St. Louis. So,
I did an event one time somewhere, and it was Rod and I, and we were both like emceeing together. So it was like bam, bam, bam.
I learned
bam,
so
bam,
much from
bam.
watching him, dude, move around. He handles events better than. I mean, I don't know anybody that's better than him, honestly.
Yeah. But can you imagine him and I with microphones in our hands
Be pretty fucking fun.
in an adult establishment, no kids? I mean, it was just fucking great. So I like him a lot. I mean, he's always been nice to me. I don't really remember. I remember Teresa, but I don't really remember a lot of that back then. I remember when the buzz was on 107.5 before, and they shut it down. They were going to shut it down.
Yep.
Were you here?
I remember when
Were you
they
here at that
moved.
time?
I didn't work there, but I remember when it was going to get shut down and they moved it to 94.
They were going to shut it down, and the fan base went fucking
Yeah.
nuts, and they moved it to 94.5, dude.
Yeah, I remember I worked for the guy that made the announcement. Jim Trapp was the general manager at the time, and I remember fucking hearing. I was listening to the radio one day, and he was talking about them moving and shit, about how it almost fucking went away, but they were gonna fucking move to 94.5. And
Yeah, I remember when KLOL went away. That was a sad time. I went to a couple Fall Fest. I got to see the Black Crows one time.
Yeah.
Jerry Cantrell, Black Crows.
fuck yeah,
One of their Fall Fest deals. That was a badass show. Who was it? Stevens and Pruitt, I think, were on that show.
Yep.
Speaking of that, I hung out for a minute with Kenny Webster last night from the what's the Walton and Johnson show?
Kenny from Walton and Johnson.
Yeah. So, and I can't believe I spaced on that because Christine Johnson and Steve Johnson
They're the coolest.
they're very, very, very big supporters of mine.
Yeah.
And I love them to death. So I didn't mean to space brain on that, but they're super big supporters of mine. I think every event we do, she donates something. She called me up one day, or she sent me a message. She goes, "Hey, we got a house in Durango, Colorado, and it's yours anytime you want it. Just look at the calendar. If it's open, it's yours."
Book that. Let's go to Archuleta
And
County.
I'm like, man, dude, that's such. They're just such giving and cool people. I've been invited to Astros games. They talk about me a lot on that station.
Well, Steve Johnson may be maybe the greatest fucking radio performer that there is. Right?
Unbelievable.
Like, That guy is on a different fucking level. There is no one else is playing the same game, bro. He's his own shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it was funny. Right when I started working with Charlie, Charlie hits me up and he's like, "Oh man, no, it's still going. It's almost. We're almost reached maximum capacity over here." Yeah, it's Charlie hit me up and he's like, "Hey, I want you to come to a friend of mine's house and they're having a pool party and no PA or nothing, but you and Jody Booth are going to go and just kind of hang out and swap songs." I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's go." Ended up being Steve's house.
Hell
And so
yeah.
I got to meet Steve, his whole family, his wife. We played with the kids. I brought my son with me. Just had a great day out there. And then they're a big part of the True Blue organization in Grimes County. And so I've done all of the True Blue events out there except for this last year because I did the Waller County Fair or the Grimes County Fair, so I couldn't do that. Man, they're great people, dude. And that's what it's about, dude. It's about meeting people like you, like Steve. I mean, I've just met so many fucking rad people in this industry, dude.
yeah, me too, man. Me too.
You know?
Lucky.
I mean,
Blessed.
for every one of the shitheads, there's like 20 badass
yeah,
people.
yeah.
Even though you kind of focus on the shitheads a little bit more, but
Yeah.
there's so many just good people.
You're right, man.
But hey, let's wrap this up, dude. I love you. I think you're fucking phenomenal. I'm glad you're out at KSTAR. I'm glad
too.
you're out here. We need to hang more often.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Thanks for doing the
Well, you are kind of like my neighbor. I live like 10 minutes from here.
No, there you go, man. Well, dude, my door's always open, bro. Just
Fuck
come
yeah.
hang out.
I really appreciate you having me on, Jeff.
Yeah, dude. Love you, bro.
And for the record, Jeff Canada sucks.
.com.